So the first presentation is going to be given to us by none other than our own Elder Sam. Elder Sam is a lecturer at the new college. I know he recently became a doctor. Yes, he's now Dr. Samuel Asamoah. He's going to talk to us about the career pathways. So his topic is very, very important for those of us who want to start. So if you are starting, where do we begin? Where do we begin? So I would invite Elder Sam, and Elder Sam will continue from there. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Yo, the moon say my boss say can be how many minutes? Fred, 25 maximum. Okay. All right. The clock start ticking. Okay. Yo, because of the target group, maybe I'll try to mix the English with the Twi, more English as compared to the Twi as we move along. So, what is a career at all? Because we're talking about career, pathways. A career is a way of making a living. Young people, yeah? Making a living. A profession or work which may require certain level of learning. So if you are talking about career, it involves what? Learning. Then we look at the roots or the pathway of this learning we are referring to. Or training. It is a lifelong job. Professional progress or a vocation or occupation that a person goes into and then he makes what? A living. So it goes with what? Making a living as well. So it's a lifelong. So if you want to become a teacher like myself, it's a lifelong, unless you want to change career. You can change from one career to another anyway. Now, I'm going to be straightforward on key areas. Now, every school in England, there's a mandatory requirement or statutory duty to ensure that all registered pupils, all children in the school, are supposed to be given career and guidance advice. If you don't know it, it's a requirement on the school to do that. They have budget, but every research shows that they always talk about budget is not adequate. So most of them will just do anything at all. They are supposed to train the teachers to help our children, but mostly they don't do that. Recent research shows that about only 16% of teachers actually talk about career. But if you don't link career to what you are teaching, what is the purpose? Because learning must lead to what? A career. And it's a motivation for the child. So as we move along, we will see if school is not doing it, it is a responsibility of you as a parent also to help out there. But it's a mandatory or a requirement for the school to do it. But I tell you, especially the state schools, they don't do most often. Now, for me to start considering a career, or as an individual, or as a parent to help your child, first you need to gather information about yourself. Who am I? What am I interested in? What do I find in my environment? What are my values? Roles. What roles am I interested in? What skills have I got or I'm prepared to learn? Because the career will demand a particular skill. What preferred environment do I want to work in? Do I want to work in an office setting, or I'm somebody who wants to be out there working? I recently noticed that I can't sit on a chair too long. So if I were to be in an office setting, obviously I was supposed to change work. I like walking around, talking. So teaching in church, teaching in classroom, I can walk the whole day without being tired. But give me a chair, sit down 30, 45 minutes, I need to stand up and start walking. Because I'll start feeling back pain. And I'll be stressed out. So you need to know which environment you want to work in. Right. If not, you will be changing careers. Now, since I came to the new college, I've seen people with PhD already coming back to college. One lady finished Oxford, he went to Canada, worked, came back to college. Change of career. So it happens. You need to know yourself very well before you start doing it. Else, you may regret and have to come back all over and start something new. Now, the importance of career and advice in the school, you need to know that as well. It provides support for students to understand the link between education and the career. So what you are learning, how is it linked to your career in future? When you go to these areas, when you go for these workshops, they'll be able to help you how to link what you are learning, your education, to your future career. Now, career and advice also gives you an insight into possible steps that you need to go through before you can achieve what you need in life. It also provides a learning environment from different professions or professionals. So sometimes they will invite professionals to come. So you being there, they will be able to help you. Your questions will be answered. So please don't look down. It may not be on your timetable, but make sure you go and sign up. I want to attend. Right? Go and ask. Go to the reception. When is a career and counseling or advice day? Or when can I book an appointment and see them? Parents, you have to push the children to do it. Else they will only be learning the books. But they should be able to link what they are learning to career. And it will motivate them. I will give you some information. There is a strong link between the career you choose and your purpose in life. If you don't link it up, that's why most people keep changing. You must be able to link the career, the choice you have made, to what? Your life. Sometimes I ask students, okay, this is the career you want. Where do you want to live or find yourself settling after uni? Do you want to live in UK? Do you want to live in Canada or Africa? It has effect on the career you are pursuing. Because if you are going back to Ghana now, okay, I want to go and do business in Ghana. There are some career pathways you are not going to have prosperity in Ghana. If you are going to live in US, you have to look at the market and see what I can do now, and I want to settle in Canada or US in future. You must factor that into that. So there is a strong link between the career you choose and your purpose in life. Your career is the vehicle that carries you to your purpose. I will quickly move down here. Now, students who are not sure of what they want to do in future may not be focused. Now, sometimes you'll be teaching a student, even A-levels, and ask, what do you want to do in future? No idea. These students who just finished exams and had their results on Thursday, one particular student, I've tried the whole year. He still doesn't know what he's going to do. Meanwhile, he has written an exam and finished. He didn't know what he's going to do. I said, why are you going to do it? No idea. As much as I tried, he was not open out for me to help him. But he has finished. And he's gone. Now, there's a quote here. Bertolt and his colleagues had some research, and this is one of the statements they made. They said, students making career decisions is related to their classroom performance. How you perform in class is related to what? The career you choose. And it's very obvious. Let's suppose you want to become like a GP, like my sister, Nikisha. You need to do chemistry. You need to get a minimum of grade A. So you must, once you choose that, you know how to what? To prepare and what is out there for you. Else, you'll be joking. Does that make sense? Yeah, so once you know, when you link your education to the career, it shows you the requirements and how you must what? Perform or become motivated to be able to achieve the targets that you need in your exams or the subjects you are doing. Now, please, year 9, some schools, by the 3rd term or by the last term in their year 9, they will start doing GCSE or they start introducing them to it. Okay. Some schools will take that serious, others will just, it's production. But what I'm trying to suggest here, be serious getting to the later part of year 9. Because the teachers will start looking at what you are doing, and parents, as soon as they get to the year 10, the decisions are being made. All right? So if you don't pay particular attention, that they will choose something for your child that has nothing to do about what he's looking for in future. But the school must get results. And they will get results by choosing something that they think the child can easily pass. They won't tell you, but I'm a teacher. I'm telling you the obvious truth. Because it's a league table. When you are looking for schools, you are looking for the top up there, isn't it? What takes them up there is the results. So every school wants to make sure they are out there. And so they will, if you don't become interested, they will choose something that child can easily pass for them to be out there. Does that make sense? So you need to be interested in that, in choosing the subject for your child. Now, sometimes, because you are not interested, they will choose foundation papers for your child. Now, a friend of mine recently just called me for the GCSE result. Oh, my daughter is doing very well in maths. And I said, have you checked the paper? She's practicing. I said, yeah. She's getting everything. And I said, okay, no, I'll come home and have a chat with your daughter. I went there, checked what she was doing. She was doing foundation papers. And I said, Kwasi, do you know your child is doing the foundation? I said, what is it? I said, okay. That means the highest grade she can get is grade 5. That's the highest. And that means she has limited herself from most of the elective subjects in A-level. Because A-level, most elective subjects will take a minimum of grade 6. But you are going to sit for an exam that your highest grade is going to be what? 5. So you have what? Already limited yourself from some of the subjects already that you can, especially the sciences, nobody will take you for 5. When you achieve even your 5. They'll say, no way, unless you go and do maybe the apprenticeship or vocational or the T level, that can take 5 or 4. So please be serious, be very particular about the selection of subjects from year 9, 10, and year 13. Because year 13, you are already prepared for the exam anyway. So year 9 and 10, that's where the selection, and parents must pay particular attention. Be involved. If you are not sure, that's why church is here. We are a bigger family. Talk to anybody and then ask for guidance so that your child can be helped. Okay, let's now come. So let's assume you know what you want to do. Okay? What are the subject combinations? What are the career pathway? Let me quickly go through. So we have medical pathway. I'm not going to talk much because my sister is going to talk about work in medicine as well. But for you to get into medicine or dentistry or veterinary or let's say, dentistry, medicine, veterinary, these 3 popular ones, you need to be doing chemistry, physics, biology, or chemistry, physics, psychology. Psychology is now a science. It's considered. So you can do chemistry, biology, psychology. Chemistry, biology, physics. I'm not going to mention all, but if you need any help, let me know. But psychology is a science. But most universities will ask for either biology, compulsory, or chemistry as a compulsory subject there. So if I were you, I'll go for chemistry, biology, and then add either maths or psychology or physics. Physics is no longer popular because when we were at school, we were doing physics, chemistry, biology. But nowadays, most students don't want to do physics. You hear them chemistry, biology, psychology, chemistry, biology, maths. Now, if you are choosing engineering, don't choose further maths in addition to maths. Because some students are very clever in mathematics, so they will do maths, further maths, and chemistry. Most universities don't consider further maths and maths as separate subjects. They say it's just a top-up. And so you will finish and you are applying, there you realize, oh, I have only 2 subjects instead of 3. You have limited yourself. So search for the university when you are looking for engineering. The physics, your maths, further maths, most of them don't consider as a different subject. Does that make sense? So check the university before you start picking up that particular additional or further maths. There are applied sciences. I always advise my students. I'm sorry if you have done environmental studies or these people, what do you call them? Oh, now the people who go around, the word has just escaped me. Police, it is common in television where they see people, there's an... No, not behavior one. Huh? Not journalism. People, when there's an incident, they come, they take samples, forensic science. It became so popular, isn't it? Because it was shown on telly, isn't it? But what I'm saying, it's a very good job, but if you go and do it as a first degree, it's an applied. So if you don't get a job in that area, it becomes difficult, especially if you are looking to work with that certificate. So my advice is, if you are interested in do something as your first degree, you can even do biology or chemistry or maths as your first degree. Then you can do that as a master's. It's just 1 year. So why go to do environmental studies for 3 years when you can do it as master's for only 1 year? When you have done your mathematics or your chemistry or biology, you can always go back and do that master's for 1 year. And you can use your first degree anytime. Does that make sense? So that is my plea. So please, if you need advice on that one too as well. Okay. Now there's a difference between pharmacology and pharmacy. Some students don't know that. They apply and go and do pharmacology and they think they are becoming pharmacists. They realize that, oh, so I can't do this dispensing. Then they are locked in there. So please make sure if you want to have something to do with the patient, and nowadays they're going to become prescribers as well very soon. The next, those in final year, who are going to final year, when they finish, they will become prescribers in addition to becoming a pharmacist as well. So their job is expanding. But if you want to do that job, don't go for pharmacology. Pharmacology, you will be in the factory, you will be the synthesizing and doing the research, but you have nothing to do with the patient. Okay, so that clarity is also that pathway we should be able to distinguish between the two. There is application of sciences in so many ways that you can also look at. You can look at biochemistry, biology itself, chemistry, neurosciences, diet and nutrition, which I've never heard when I came here, Swindon area, dietitian, most people don't do it. Food technology, it pays a lot, food technology. Who doesn't eat a day? Unless you are fasting. And it's a very good career. Check it. If you come out within the next 5 to 10 years, your salary is more than 50 to 80,000. But most people don't know. I didn't know. When I came to this country, if I knew, I would have gone for that as well. Honestly speaking, we hardly don't search there. But if you are looking for the money, I tell you, that is where the money is because everybody eats. And the career, once you finish and come out, do your master's, you can become a consultant. Even when you are not a consultant and you are working for 5-6 years, your money will be huge. So look into that as well, food technology or food science. Computer science, mathematics and engineering, business management, my brother will talk about that, so I'm not going to talk too much about. They are all career pathways that you can choose. Economics and mathematics. Now, there are some schools that will restrict you in a particular pathway. So, for example, in the sixth form schools, they have limited departments. So they have career pathway. So this is what we have for you. You need to choose that subject. That's it. Few schools will allow you to select your own subject or combinations and pursue. So you must watch out for that as well, so that you don't like one jacket fits all. No. Look for it. If they are forcing you in a career, it's recently when I came to UK and I started teaching, it was not like that. Recently, about 4 or 5 years down the line, they have introduced that pathways. So they have designed it. Once you come in science, they say this is the subjects, and you are limited. That's all you have to do. Maybe you wanted to do psychology, chemistry, biology. They say we only do chemistry, biology, physics. Let's have just an example. So that's where you are. And because they don't have more of the teachers to do other, or the timetable cannot cope. So please watch out for that as well. If they are restricting you, go for another school you think you can get the subject you want, because you know the career pathway you want to pursue. Don't let them force you to pursue what they have designed. It may not help you as well. I've talked on higher papers. Okay. Now, let me finish up with this one. I've said that some schools, higher tier, there are 3 bottom sets. You have sets in school, is that right? Bottom set, middle set, top set, isn't it? Who classified top set, bottom set? It's something that should be stopped. However, behavior is making it that way. Because if we group all of them together, there are some children who will never allow others to learn. And the teacher will spend the whole day doing what? Management instead of teaching. He will be managing only the class. And therefore, parents, please, make sure you visit the school regularly. Ask for the set your child is in. Because if it's in bottom set, there's no way he's going to do higher paper. All right? If he's in bottom set, there's no way he's going to. Maybe he's bright, but his behavior is putting him in bottom set. And there's no way he's going to do higher paper in bottom set. And so push your child. Ask them, what can I do to help my child to come to the top set? I'll use my own son as an example. I brought them from Ghana. He came in, started year 10, and PBL, Nokobi, the little one, Nokobi, PBL. They said he's going to do foundation. He came home and told Daddy, he said, well, I have to do foundation. No way. And he said, no way. Okay. I said, what is the way forward? You have to prove to them. And so what we did was always asking them to give him questions to bring home. He does the question, test him for me. They tested him. Then they have to push him to the higher tier. So we have to challenge the status quo. Kobe, I'll use you as an example. He was going to do French. And then the French teacher said, foundation. I said, no foundation. He agrees with the teacher. I said, no. You are not going for foundation. You are going for higher. So higher foundation, then he agrees with me, so we push the teacher aside. He got his grade better. So sometimes you need to stand up for your right. I've told you that some of the schools will look for only the pass. 4 is a pass. 5 is a pass. But is that what you want? I saw your sermon this morning. Go for what? Gold. Let us not limit ourselves. And let's also go for what? The gold as well. So there are, apart from the A level, there are apprenticeships is there. T level is a new pathway, but it's flourishing very well as well. So if you are interested, let us know. We have T level in so many other pathways like health and social care. T level is there. You do it for 2 years and you can still go to uni. Though I must be honest, some universities still don't accept it, but some universities are now opening out to accept. It's the same like the BTech. BTech started, most universities didn't accept. Now they have accepted BTech. So T-level is having some challenges, but I'm sure by the next 3-4 years, it will become more acceptable in the society. But it's a pathway that is also new in the system. BTech is now well accepted, and T-level is something that is coming up. Apprenticeship. You must be well disciplined to go through that apprenticeship. It's not for people who perform poorly. Some people, that's the mentality. Apprenticeship is for the what do you call it? Maybe the poor, those who are not performing. No. It's something that you must see as another pathway. You must work for it. You must be disciplined to be able to be successful in the apprenticeship as well. Because first of all, the workplace or the company will advertise it. They are going to pay you, isn't it? So they are looking for some kind of standards. And so they will teach you, when you go there, when you come back to the school maybe once a week or twice in a week, the college or the school is supposed to help you as well. So you need to be able to be managing your time well and make sure that you are going through the process to push yourself up the career, else you'll be at the bottom there. Because you have chosen it, isn't it? And you need to manage yourself very well to progress. Don't look at only the money they're giving you. That money may not be enough in the next 10 years. So you need to look for how to move forward, even when you go through that pathway as well. I think I've exhausted my 25 minutes. Sorry, I need to stop here, but I'll be down here. If you need further information, you can also come and then talk to me as well. Or when the question time comes up and there's any question, I can come back and answer more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elder Sam. So we will be, if you have any question, just keep it there. We will have a breakout time where we can ask personal questions to all the speakers, okay? So I will now invite Mr. Educhumkwe to talk to the parents about how we can be involved as a parent and how you can seek support from various avenues. So Mr. Educhum, you're on the floor now. Thank you.
I think it's better for me to hold the mic like this. Good afternoon, church. And then, the topic that I was given to discuss was parental involvement and seeking the right support. And I think our elder has touched a lot when we talk about seeking the right support and also parental involvement. Initially, when I spoke to Sister Rita and I decided to sort of plan out what I was going to discuss, I wanted to toe the line of sort of outlining the basic ways in which parents can be involved when we talk about their kids' careers and I say, or more educational. But then, no. I'm not a parent yet, and I can only speak from the perspective as a younger person growing up here in the UK and also growing up in Ghana before I moved here into the UK. But one thing that really dawned on me was foundation is very, very important and is key in everything that we do. You see, when we look in the Bible, Jesus tells a story about two men who decided to build a house. And the first man is wise and builds his house on a rock. And then when the storms came with heavy rain and strong winds and rising floods and everything, because he built his house on a rock, it stood. But then the second man, however, he built his house on sand. You see, when the storms came and everything came, what happened? The house could not withstand because it was built on the sand as compared to the house that was built on a rock. What we have here in the UK as Ghanaians and as Ghanaians immigrants living here in the UK, and I'm talking from the perspective of you being a parent, is our story of who we are and where we came from. And when we sing our hymn, Tell Me the Old Story, me. This is what it says, and I'll read a bit of it. It says here, Katitesem ne treme, sure niema unhunu, Yesu enu nyam no, Yesu ne dono, kano, titia, senia wa kache abufra, if we say me mrel, na me ho agufi. Essentially, if we look at our younger ones here in the UK, and we are looking for ways to support them through their education and also through their personal lives and we are speaking to them from our perspective of the experience that parents who go through in Ghana and the experiences that they're facing here in the UK. We normally, whenever we get a chance to communicate to them, it's coming from Abia Bibinesi, and I will make a reference to your past. Any bra or bray, your crown pants on our day, or backroom her, any the struggles I will go through. But what we need to understand is these forms of communication, it shouldn't happen in settings at I will say a idea on day-to-day basis, when you have a friend or your day, it didn't come off home. Now what TSC who baby are free any baby our day or about bedroom. Because if you say Ghana, ABI, earlier on now I was speaking to the gentleman that had his birthday today. I forgot his name anyways. Can anyone remind me? I think. Yeah, Brother Jonathan. And I was saying to him, and he was referencing the same points and saying, it's important that that communication happens on a level that Akrano, ebe to me ati free, what struggles I'll go through, as a parent, and yet the same struggles maybe Abrafrana day or go through now. Difference, massive. Like, you can't comprehend what the difference is for Accra. No? But it's also important, say, who go through Nina, no, unya nyina so, ejina so ama Accra na tiase say. Baby, I will free our baby drew, baby, I will say, no. It's no different from path, maybe on also, yeah, they go through, no. They also would to me break you when you're mad down. Now, to me, I cranny didn't come on, when you see who say, baby, I'm a mammy through a baby drew, Hano. And now, baby, I'm papa through a baby drew, Hano. Struggles will go through, any sacrifices or yeah, they, or yeah, mamma, no, is important for the child to understand those sacrifices. When our brother was preaching earlier this morning, or talking about the entire been meant to me and rule or go to honor. Circumstances or my day or womb, and I be binti or meant to me and room pempen, so I will say it or my day or more drew. Most of our parents or more free Ghana ban. Baby, I now come education level let drew no. So come by no more twaso ewa ha and Casamri or budding or marble bonus call mojina and yasem ketua. About because of war. Any minty, and it's with Jow fear, and I say, or you're not going to mean show into no any of our walk around pay and will focus on education, ABA Kayende and Kayanteha. And then from a parent's perspective, you know, it's important. Says our struggles, you know, what the cow brano homa abofrano etiasie, baby I will free, and a baby I baby drew. Now abofrano who say. I'm sorry, no catch him and say, Menko ha, men ye say ya. Abufan Boone said, baby, I'm free and son of Baby Drew Hano. It wasn't easy. And as the struggles will go through and between be a day, a 2 menumino, it just didn't happen out of the blue. It happened because they needed to give up something to get to where they are now. And to know, in order for you to achieve the goal that our brother talked about this morning, no. It meant, say, your parents had to sacrifice a lot. Say, we bet me a drew position now, yeah, they, woman now. And you know, even though I'm speaking towards the younger ones, but I want the parents to also understand to say, baby, I free and son of baby drew, baby, I will, main you free on comedy, I will know about a day. I was say a way of communicating with your younger ones, you know. And as Ghanaians, and also, as Africans, I think Elder mentioned a lot of it. Being involved with your child's education, no, is not something that just happens when they get to secondary school. And I say, or share A levels, and I say, GCS, I say, when I be here, and then I design comedy, directly from the point of nursery. You need to have that constant communication with their teachers and those who are looking after your kids in school. Because you only have, between the hours of 6 to probably 8 and the hours after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you all cry no break, up until baby at 8 o'clock, now crying and die. So that time no cry no. The rest of it, or spending with school. And cry for our free so many different backgrounds and normal communicating. If you go high and pay a cry any day, you move. If you go high and I'm a cramp, ye day, ye nimino. But who feel winning yame, or bomb pie, would dig an Adriane, wouldn't be beer with fear. But 6 hours now spending with school, mono, and Koma Woody, the teacher says, Treno, and now for 4 hours fan or honor. So I'm when here on that. It's not a problem amount. It's very, very, very important because the circle that your child builds around themselves, we might not know, but they're very, very, very influential. And they can affect their growth, they can affect their education going forward much more than who we impact our day, because within that circle, and earlier on, attached a lot on the foundation. If the foundation is solid, circles, when it's starting to build within the schools and also those places, at the back of the Accra Nitini, when him say, baby, I mean, mammy, I saw my mammy catch a mini. This is what things are, and this is how they are, and this is why even say, Bia, and I may be school cramp on me, Tina came over school. Nam papa be see me. If we say sacrifices or committee and son baby baby I'm doing. Now if I want to keep that going on, I need to make sure that I'm making the correct and right decisions in my life. And I had a lot communicating with teachers, already mentioned, encouraging curiosity and critical thinking. Within our settings, say akraba na akrabo ha ope questions busa bibia obebusa bibia opese wo hunu mo ba me no san kra na me manage wo mo ho free say opese wo hunu de enti a efree a kodru b anase de enti efree b e kodru c but akra bia sha ase e show that type of a yina enche bi ebetimi aka na she visa say bibia opese wo hunu ase da bia o kasa aden na wonko ade opese wo hunu we aden na wonko ade obisa questions be say sacrifices in ebino no so when to me encourage that curiosity no and critical thinking no wo bamu at that young age na wonyini no wo kwa adwuma mu a obeda ne te said my brother no e kind of we say manager na catch and so on fa we nye we a ontimi challenge it because no quite fast to ten and then with him no there be no wa motto ontimi mbie na no and defend no ho and can asem senior was say there or kind of that freedom doesn't exist in his life and I say her life into is very, very important to say you're making sure say your mano enya safa hudie no when we talk about critical thinking and also one can say to me I had about 2 years working at Coventry University. I worked within the Students' Union. Now, one of the biggest issues are not lecturers, especially with the international students now normal banner say they struggle to communicate when they had issues. So, or problem, our class, and I say if they have any issues with their lectures, now I say be being quiet man. They couldn't communicate it as effectively as they could at India. As compared to our cry ABIA day, and the whole point is you no. So what shall your question and near authority and you will never get that freedom. But baby a crew we are kono. So also encourage that type of behavior. Within 5, 10, 15 years, your child will probably blame you for it. Because where the country is going now, if you cannot critically think for yourself, if you cannot critically make decisions for yourself, over follow crowd, and it said you'll be a follow crowd. And it's important as parents, you encourage sign your man with. You can say, my akrano and quiet, but if you need it, as papa, as mamma, I also ultimately created that freedom, kakrano, makrano, no to me express because a chinebino, a big hiamano, I want the jumem, a chinebin, a big hiamano, what environment to be obey a day, obey PM. And then the next one is establishing a routine. Routine, so yeah, because if you're a human being and you don't have any routine in your life, then you wouldn't know where you're going. Because when I'm so sorry, between maybe 6 to 8, after that time, they see this one quite how fast ball life, and as all ball brand, you've got a set routine out here they will follow. Now, so we'll throw that routine out of the window. Now we need any focal points in your life and as in how you operate as a human being. Then it means that you have no goal. And I didn't baby day over. And we need to be able to build these set routines within our children. So they wake up, they know exactly how to operate when we talk about they also here. So what to day is a routine. And sometimes we forgot all these things. Now I'm making sure I said, you know what? When I look behind me, my bedroom is set. Me pabu have BBI clear mame. Me free me dem fino BBI no set. Me peer free hand minim say. I remember home be complaining say then I remember so I fini again. Sanya man I will build the work acronym. These are the foundational skills that I'm talking about. And so our foundation it creates a bond between you and your child. And when you throw that out of the window, and then many years later, with this 16, this 17 now, I feel now I'll try to build that bond with the child, now you find it very difficult. Because the honor circles now make kind of earlier, and they can have for more. Nipa influence or man with internet so. Nipa influence or ban wo school money they can't hono. Or my doso. Into no one papa and as a mamma, they will can you know. Funny truth one because we couldn't say bia when him yansa channel. But when him yansa channel, because life I go through no on far quarter mukram with that. Life I go through into the when ya home far who dear at the level send you see level no. Nankaya and Uncle so buy and I was you 2 hours and a pa. No quay 2 hours and you mra. Uncle Bohun said it's not that easy. But once I'm 20 years or so, that's the type of life on us over a day. Internet the honors is on parents and also both sides, to be honest with you. And as you grow older as a younger person, you start realizing, say, we are dear, nani pem ya boa baswa. Now papa now mommy energy is a blessing for you. Because it's a step I take. Because sometimes now as younger people we tend to think, say, dear, ya no ane. But sometimes me share me chi ne bia metimi adru ne de me ye na papa ne mama me ani agia and then the mama so me dey and mama so ani gie and it's very very important na say ye bo wachi na papa da bia odi awerho o mama di awerho a e wo so wa fa ho adi but wow life no na ye dey o say na ma ho into no there's a lot that I can add on to it, but as I said our elder has sort of mentioned a lot of things that I thought we could probably share with you today. But then when the questions comes now, we will be able to answer that as well. There was a key point that he mentioned earlier on. And when we talk about career path and education, when I talk about my path to where I am now, it doesn't really and connect it on different sides because I did health and social care as my A-levels, and I'm acquired biological and chemical science, and then my postgrad was in international business management. Let me say, on paper no, and but a chrome hano, a word jumamono. So who send you as count send me ne how or build a profile na nina bakwani amana yama. Because all these courses that I mentioned, are connected in certain ways. Because either way, why by your work, why by your coursework, you're building that of doing your own research. You're building that of doing your own critical thinking. At the end of the day, we are not Sabi, it hasn't got nothing to do with any clinical work, and I say, yeah. If you decide, say, you know what, may experience anyway, I can't want to push you for a juma way. From my perspective, I don't see why you can't get there. And we should not really limit ourselves when we think about these things. That it doesn't matter what course you did, to be honest with you. Because Oko University, your career first, companies are bahono. Okona no mudin kumo. Be no babeka say with degree na in into the person no bekasa. They are looking for people that can critically think for themselves. No betimi dem moa ababe day ababo mo business no. And also who here sometimes from the onset when the mistake comes now you feel say oh and one and I cut. By the age of 18, 16, 20, 21, you're not anywhere. There's a lot in front of you that you can name to do. And in our experience, I was here at Nyasanti, I said, because Akrano 21, me share my first degree. I said I was 21 at that time, and I felt to say I was more matured and it was much better for me to go to uni at that time if I had gone to uni at the age of 18. Maybe perspective, And I remember sitting in a room with a vice chancellor and that making a similar comment to say, "Nebabema, where we the first, where we in the A-levels now, I'm person obeko uni yet." No person or like or yeah a Jumaka craft for a couple of years and sana day or mana queen. Make us and also she say, also we are without any plan be ahead of you and also better for you. That's not how it works. There's got to be a plan that can support what you want to do in the future. And see, Madam Manube see her not later on or when the question comes not yeah to us, Madam CPA.
Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you very much, Mr. Educhum. I forgot to add that Mr. Educhum didn't come alone. I think you came with a partner. And when I was introducing, I made that unpardonable error of not welcoming the wife. So, Mrs. Quay, please, can you wait for us to see you here? Thank you. God bless you for coming. So next, we want to give more time for questions. So you plead with our presenters. A lot of us have questions. So when we come, let's make a summary. They will come to you. You have a breakout room where they will come to you and ask their personal questions. So after this, we are talking about entrepreneurship, starting your business. How can you start your business? And how can you grow your own business? So I would invite Mr. Kevin Robinson and Mr. Augustine J. They are just going to facilitate and talk to us about how you can start your own business here and also how you can grow your business. Okay?
Will give you stability, but a business can make you rich. So then the question arises sometimes, do I want security and stability, or do I want to create wealth? And so while we have just done the job bit, we want to focus a bit now on entrepreneurship, business creation, and stuff like that. Anyone in here has got a business? No, put your hands up, be proud of it. Can I say, who has got a business? Anyone has got a business idea? All right, I see 2 young people with business ideas, and I see multiple people with business ideas. So I am going to assume that the very fact that I am seeing people who have got business ideas, and I'm not seeing a lot of hands putting up for people who have started businesses, that somehow people get stuck in the idea phase. And so what we want to do between us this afternoon is look at how we can get from idea to actually doing something in practice. Nobody makes money with ideas, right? That is the first thing we need. So you might have an idea in your mind and you might think this is a very good idea. You could live 100 years with that idea, die with that idea, and it will not generate a single pound in your account, right? Okay, so the first thing we want to look at is the business startup process or phases. What phase do you go through? So we'll look at the fact that some people have got ideas. And the first thing in terms of the business startup phase is idea, right? It is, some people call it ideation. The idea is that you've got a concept in your mind and you think this could make a good business. Some people struggle with that phase. They want to start a business. They've got all the tools to start a business, but they say, I do not have an idea. And so the question always arises, where do ideas come from? And some people have got their ideas by divine inspiration. I've met people who said, like, God just revealed it to me to start X business and I started it and it flourished. But not everyone is going to be like that. So where will the idea come from? And I'm going to put to you, and I'm going to go very quickly through this, that one of the first places that ideas can come from is problems. People who have got problems and you think, okay, if they've got that problem, maybe I could start a business that will solve that problem. So the entrepreneur's mindset is that whenever I hear somebody complaining about stuff, I'm thinking, the pound sign starts rolling. That's what should be happening over your head. As soon as somebody's complaining, oh, I can never get this on time. Or I drove everywhere, every shop in Swindon, and I'm looking for this thing to make my jollof rice taste better. And you think, I wonder how many other people are doing this. Maybe there's a business here for me, right? So that is problem. The other thing is things that are done badly. So this is not new, anything new, but you realize, I can hardly find a good barber shop in Swindon, right? So I'm thinking, why don't I create one? Or you might hear someone say, you cannot find a good, a decent African restaurant in Swindon. You might think, why don't I create one? So things that are done badly. There's also what we call underserved areas, which speaks for itself. For example, certain communities, they might be too small and nobody wants to cater to that. And you might think, okay, I could do something like that, right? And that could be a business. So particularly young people, whenever you hear of people complaining about stuff, think, how can I start a business from it? People are always saying that there's nothing like this. Think about, how can I create something out of it, right? So invite people to talk about their problems, and then you ask other people, do you have the same problem? If you encounter 10, 20, 30 people with the same problem, you might think there is an opportunity for business. So which brings us to the next stage, which is what we call idea research. So ideas are cheap. They come a dime a dozen, right? So you might, one day, I'm going to invite you to do this as well. Take a sheet of paper, write down all the ideas. Pray about it first. Say, Lord, I want you to give me some ideas for business. Write down all the ideas that come to mind. It doesn't have to be good ideas. It doesn't have to be great idea. That phase one is complete. Phase two is when I start, as the scripture says, separating the wheat from the chaff. So I'm going to look to see which of these is good. So some ideas are going to be rubbish, to be honest, and some are going to be great. Some ideas are good, but they are not good for you, right? It might not be good for you because of your Christian beliefs. It might not be good for you because it will conflict with your Sabbath principles. So you work through it and you tick it off. At the end, you might land with two ideas. And you might say, okay, I am going to pick one. So now we have done idea research. You are now going to think of it, okay, can I really do this? Can I get the products? Can I get whatever? How much will it cost to do this? How much will it cost to whatever? So now you are researching the idea to see, right, it's a good idea on paper. Can I actually do this? And this can take quite a long time because you might need to be on the internet researching it and stuff like that. But if you put the time in, it, as the next speaker will tell you, there are people even from the Seventh-day Adventist Church who have done very, very well for themselves because they have gone through this process, right? The next one is idea development. So I had 100 ideas. I have narrowed it down to 2, and now I've picked one. Do not try to do a million things at the same time. I've picked one. So I have decided that I would like to sell some t-shirts, but my t-shirts are going to be different in a particular way. Right? So now I'm thinking, how do I develop a business around selling the t-shirt? Where am I going to sell it? Who am I going to sell it to? So now I'm developing it. This is where you engage a business plan. Right? So I'm going to look at how many people do I think, who am I selling it to? I am selling it to people between 13 and 30, for argument's sake. There's a lot of people. Where am I going to sell it? I don't want to rent anywhere, so I'm going to sell it online. Where am I going to get my stock from? So you start putting it, and the skeleton that you had before starts putting on flesh and start putting on skin, and it start looking now like a business. You're writing it down. If you're not a person who likes to write or type, you need to get with that, right? So you are developing what we call now a business plan. How am I going to market? I'm going to sell it online. I already spend a lot of time on online anyways. Can I see the hands of those people who spend a lot of time online? Social media. Be honest, be honest. It is not a sermon to tell you that you should be praying while you're online and that you should be at fasting service. That's not the point. The thing is that you are already there. You're already wasting a lot of time there. You may as well make some money from it, right? If you're going to spend 5 hours a day on your phone and social media, looking at nonsense or looking at people making money, you may already start a business and do some business there. You're already there. It's like somebody say, since I am in Swindon, I may as well go to the outlet village. You think, well, I'm already in Swindon, I may as well stop at the outlet village. Does that make sense? You're already there. You're already wasting a lot of time there anyway. So we have moved on from business. Now, this can be a prayerful journey, by the way. When you are engaging God, you're engaging the speaker. You want God to order your step. Direct me to the right business. Direct me to the right thing. Because you do not want to spend your time and resources doing something that is not for you, right? The next thing is business plan. We talk about business plan. The next thing is finance. Okay, I've got this great business idea. It's going to cost £5,000 to start. Where am I going to get £5,000? So this is where lots of people tend to stumble, because the idea is there. I know I'm going to do this. I'm excited about this. I'm telling everybody, they're saying, yes, as soon as you start this, let me know, I'm going to support you. Well, I can't buy it. So where can we get money from? Can someone tell me? I'm going to engage also quickly with that. Where can I get money from if I need money to start the business? Yes? Friends? Nikisha? Government. Okay, we'll come to that one. Yes? Sponsorships. Bank. Okay. Did someone say friends? Which one? Okay. Friends. You're missing another one. Yeah. We got bank. Family as well. Family, right? Most people starting very small. They start, especially if you're very young, they start with family support. So they might go and ask their mom, they might go and ask their uncle, they might go and ask, I would like to start this, lend me this or give me this or whatever, I want to start it. Not everybody has got that luck. Some people may have to go to the bank. Sometimes people may have to combine various sources. Sometimes you may have to combine and find a partner. So you might know that Elder Sam has got a lot of money saved up, and you need to start a business. Elder Sam doesn't want to start. God has blessed him immensely. And you go to him and you say, Elder Sam, I know you're a busy person. I have got a great idea. How about if I do the business and you own, and we go 50-50 or we go 60-40. By doing that, you're actually bringing your brother into the business and you're actually building up the kingdom of God. So not only you're making money, but you're also making it for your brother. So partnerships are very important, right? I know some people get very edgy when they come out to money, but we have to talk about it. All right? And the last thing I want to talk about is having the right people with you. Particularly if you're young, you need to have the right people, right? You need people who are going to encourage you, but also sometimes you need people who are going to tell you that this is nonsense, this is not going to work. Because sometimes people get their heads so caught up in it, they can't see the forest for the trees. So sometimes you need somebody to tell you, look, don't do this. Not because selling ice cream in December might seem like a great idea, but there are certain factors that are against it. The weather is not conducive to that. I mean, like, okay, I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, right. But so you want to have the right people. You might want to engage certain professional people as well to say, okay, can I sit down? For example, I'm a business advisor. I sit with people and work through their business plan. I once had a girl who came to me, a lady in Birmingham. She said, I want to start a business. I said, okay, great. I said, look, we can sit and we can talk about it. It's not going to be free. Why do you think I told her it's not going to be free? Apart from the fact that I need to make money as well. Why do you think I told her it's not going to be free? Exactly. People tend not to value things that they don't pay for, right? The moment I told her it's not going to be free and it's not going to be cheap, she immediately, every second of the engagement, she wants to do something. So as soon as she says hello, she's like right into it. There's no, how are you, how is this, how is whatever, because she's paying for every minute. Check her now. She's got a very successful counseling practice, doing very well in Birmingham. So sometimes engage the right people and don't be afraid to spend money, because sometimes you spend it, it comes back. The other thing is be prayerful about it. If you've got people around you who are prayer people, do not be afraid to say, look, mom, look, dad, look, elder, I'm starting a business. I want you to pray about it for me, that God will bless it and God will make it successful. Does God want us to be successful? Absolutely. How do you know? Because he tells us, he said, I want you to be prosper and be in good health. I want you to have wealth and health and all that is in between. Right? So that is my little bit, and we're going to add a little bit more to it, and then after that, I suppose we could take some questions. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, before we even go into that, I've seen some of the young people went to night shifts. Can we all stand up, please? Yeah, some people went to night shift, especially the young people, they are sleeping. And normally a night shift, we know some of you had king, jollof, what else? So just turn to your neighbor, turn to my right, and give a small massage. And boom, boom, yeah, be careful. Be careful. Yeah, just a small one, no worries, small. Okay, turn to the left, turn to the left, turn to the left. Okay. Give two people high five. Give two people high five. Come on. Come on, high five. All right, be seated. Please be seated. Okay. Okay. All right, quick one. Just 10 minutes. You know what I'm seeing right now in this room? Can I say it? Oh, can I say it? These people don't like me. Can I say it? Okay. Okay, what I'm seeing right now is nobody's taking notes. Yeah. Now let me teach you something. I want to teach something quick so that we get into the sermon. There is a statement I'm going to make right now. I know some people are taking on a phone, technology for it, but I don't see people taking, notes as well. Write this down. The things you write, you do not have to remember. Why? Because you can always go and open your book. So write information. Information are priceless, okay? Information are what changes situations in life, okay? Access to info. So please write it. The young people, write it down. But quick, yes, sir. Yeah, you can get it. But write notes if you can. Write notes if you can. But quick question, how many of you want to make money? You won't really make money. Pay down, sir. If you don't want to put your money. I know. Some of you are not selfish, so you don't want money. Oh, those who want to make real money, pay down, sir. Okay, I see. Okay. You know the problem we have in our church today? I'm born in Seventh-day Adventist, so I know the problem we have at church. The problem we have at church is, yes, we do focus on formal education, which is great. It's good to have a formal education. But what we don't teach at church is self-education for people to make side hustle money. A lot of us sometimes, and before I give straight to my presentation, please, fast my why. What happened at COVID-19? What happened is most people had no income because we don't think out of the box. We only think in the box. But I want you to understand that businesses are what offers jobs and run the world. So think out the box. If your children have skills, they have gifts, please help them. That's one thing we are failing as our community. So let's go straight to it. My brother has already said it all. But focus, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur. Then I know. Okay. Right? What are you cooking? All right, and you're entrepreneur, okay? Please. Like entrepreneurship, right? It's something that is going on in the world. It's something really, really amazing, okay? Now look here. Let me break it down. Okay, entrepreneurship is what? It's an ability to readiness to what? Develop, organize, just like my brother said, business. Pretty much similar stuff we have here. But we're going to give you how you can make some money. Money is important. If you say money is not important, Monday don't go to work. Okay? Because you need money. That's why you go to school. All right? But your school is what you pay for. Your business, your gifts are what you're made of. Is that making sense? Okay, so you see here, example, businesses, starting a new businesses. He said most of the things, so we just go straight to it. What type of businesses? Entrepreneurs, small and large. You don't need to do anything big. You can start small. He mentioned about ideas. Ideas are nothing without execution. Is that making sense? Everyone here? Hello? Shh. Ideas are nothing without execution. You can have thousands of ideas. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to. It's good. All right? Now, what are the 4 components, all right, concepts? Entrepreneurship. Innovation, risk-taking, vision, and organization, okay? Now, innovation. Let me give you an example here. What happened to Nokia phone? Nokia was one of the best phones years ago, right? They miss it. Innovation. So in entrepreneurship, you have to be smart. You have to understand the times we are in. You know, how many guys remember back in the days we had DVD cassette, in, out, flop, copy. Anybody, yeah? Do you see them now? No. So when you become an entrepreneur, you have to be fast. Every day you have to think out of the box. So let's say if you are selling wache, all right, because that's your only idea. You can cook, all right? Thank you for those who cook their jollof. Start a business with their jollof, right? So let's say you're cooking wache. These days when you go to Ghana and the places, some people, before they sell wache in a bowl, now they are serving wache in packaging. Sometimes you don't want to eat the wache, but because the package, you buy it. Are you guys with me? So innovation, okay? Risk-taking. If you want to start a business, be ready for risk, okay? Let me tell you, some people don't like to take risks. Let me tell you, whether you do a business or you don't do a business, you're already taking risks in life. So you might as well take the big risk. So because you don't know what is beyond the fence, okay? All right, those who take big risks. Organize vision. Now, you need to have a vision of what you want to become. I said it this morning. Go for what? Thank you. You guys paid attention. God bless you. So, vision. What's the end goal? Then our person at the end. Yes, we want to make money, but entrepreneur is not just about making money. There's something that comes before the money. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Slide. The most successful businesses are created with a business more to do what? Solve what? That's what he just said right now. What is the problem? You hear people talking about something, it's a problem. That's a business. The thing is, we talk about a problem, so if you want to make money, you have to solve more what? More what? A vulcanizer is making money because somebody's car tire is what? A low, okay? So they are solving more problems. So my question to you is, what problem can you solve? Can you solve problems? Then you're going to make a lot of money. To launch a business means successfully, you have to solve more problems. Next one. Now, these are some ideas. All right? Ideas. How many of you guys have a business in this church? Sorry, title is scam me. Okay. How many of you would love to start a business? Raise your hand. Young people, raise your hand. Now I'm in Chiama there. Okay. You know, you can start a business. You know, back in the days, I mean, those who grew up in Ghana, ABS said, people who have business ideas, Ototofia, 5 pounds, and I said 5 Ghana. Or quite no Tomani classmate, Massa. Profit. It's business. That's one idea. Okay? You can start. Why would somebody start a barber shop in the car? Why? Just like COVID. If COVID happened and you can't go to the shop, somebody can serve you at the right of your door. Is that making sense? Innovation. You can start a business. You can sell products. Anybody, those who know how to mix in kuto with something. I don't know what it is, but you mix it. Yeah? It's a business, right? You can see here, open a barber shop. He mentioned them. Car business, guys. Car wash, young people. Go and do car wash business. How many people drive in this church? Yeah, on a Sunday, give the young people, bring your car, let them wash it. Your car is a business. It's a business. So car wash business. You can wash, you can do carpet cleaning, whatever. So look, aside your main job, you can have a side hustle that eventually will become a big business. Is it making sense? And let me tell you, those businesses pay more, you don't know. All right? So you have to start some of the businesses. All right? Car wash business. So, quick one. Benefit of starting a side hustle. Make what? Extra money. How many of you guys want extra money? If you want extra money, wave. Extra, 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 extra. Your bank balance is calling you. Wave your hand. Wave. Okay? Okay? Listen. Work around your job schedule. Okay? Look. Instead of watching Nigerian movies and Netflix, now, remember, the person who created Netflix replaced what we called Blockbuster. There was a shop where you can go and rent CDs and DVDs. So they are making money from your pockets. Don't make somebody make money from you when you don't make no money. So the time you have after work, if you work 9 to 5, come home, eat. Create a side hustle that you can make money from 7 to 8 or 7 to 9. Because those little money that will come can also help you pay certain things. Teach your young people to hustle early. Look at our brethren, Indians, Asians. They hustle hard. Okay, work as a be your own boss. So listen, some people, catch this, let me give you a reality. Not everybody who start a business become their own boss. Some people start a business for side hustle, extra money. But some people also, their business will become a big project, okay? Now, I know, I make a problem back where I work in the church. I know Ghanaians, Sebi. Most people, we don't like to teach our children our languages, right? Chi, kasa, yenchero. But I want to teach you, anybody teach Chi? Raise your hand. Start a business and charge them. Amen? That's a business. So he can start a business, and on Sunday, you can bring your kid to learn Chi. Charge your more. You know, hello? We like to teach our children. I live in Italy. And in Italy, when we used to go to school, an Italian guy in school would tell you, when we used to do English classes, io non parlo nessuna parte, perché impara inglese. O sia inglese, o sia un po' bielcrum. So you understand? So don't be excited that your child is learning Spanish, French, whatever, but they can't speak Chi. Imagine if they can go to Ghana and establish a business, but with the kickers and everything, and they're ton idea. You need to teach them, why? Charge you almost £25 every lesson. Why? Okay, so some strategies. He said it all on how you can, set up your business. Now, this is my last story. These are people in the church who have become big within a short period of time. You can go and buy some product from them. Right? If something happened with your hair, you're losing hair. These are people in the church. They've built a multi-billion-dollar industry or $1 million industry in less than 3 years. They are in Slough. This is Amma in Slough, or one of the Reading. That's a business. I'll tell you how they started. And this is Yao. Yao is also a Seventh Adventist. Okay? He just mentioned a problem. This is the problem that happened. Look here. These are these two people from the church. That's why I'm excited when I see young people, because we have the ideas. You don't need your mom to wake you up. You don't need anybody. Go for gold. Okay? Now, this lady here, if you go on Instagram, COVID, I think she had a job and she was made redundant. And she was using just cream mixed with this for hair to grow. She posted it online. Post on social media. You either use social media to make money or to waste money. But we waste too much money. TikTok. You can watch TikTok for 5 hours and you're making somebody money. So she posted on Instagram and everybody, what is it? 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 And she started from her mom's kitchen. Today she has a warehouse. She has employed people from the church. And they've made millions in the last 3 years. Big. Amma, look at Yao. So Yao's wife had skin problem. Like she, alopecia. She was hiding. Like when they were dating, it was like, oh, I can't show my skin. So Yao saw that as a problem. If my wife have it, then thousands of people have the same problem. So he's a scientist, and he decided to look into research. Today, Yao has a big business as well, and is making a lot of money. So he found a problem and brought a solution. So I pray that you guys can find some problem and bring some solutions. Guys, if you set up your business and if you think out of the box, we have a lot of money in the church, and Swindon will soon buy a big church in Jesus' name. Amen. So do you have any questions? Quick questions. If you have questions, please, quick questions. Please ask your question, we'll help you. This man here will show you a lot of ways where to find money to start your business. Okay? Anybody has any questions? Time for questions. Okay, God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kevin. So, I believe, how many of us up till now have questions? Let's see by the raise of our hands. Anybody with a question? Only one person. From the presentations that we've had up till now, anybody with questions? Contribution? Only one question. Because we were thinking about forming a breakout room so that all our presenters, if you have a personal question, you walk to them and ask them. But if we don't have questions, for now, I can see only 3 people. We will give them opportunities for them to ask, and we will continue. Is that okay? Pamcho, but Enkofo Bebre Akasa, will be a question for Elder Sama now, Bia, Obezo Busano, and I upon our Obekono. Mr. Victor. Elder Sam, okay. We will have time for that. So we will give about 10 minutes for questions. If you have a question, you can write it down. So, Mr. Victor, yeah. So, Mr. Jonathan, can you get ready? Yeah.
Right. My question is, now we see something called AI. AI. Where does AI fall in the sciences or whatever? Please, yeah. That we know AI is something new coming in the system. To replace a lot of jobs, maybe. So, what courses will lead somebody to do AI?
No, it's okay, our elder is asking, is AI going to replace some jobs in the market? First, it's going to enhance the job we do. Because for me, in teaching field, we have got what we call Teachermatics. It's an AI software. When I put in my specification, right, if I want to teach a lesson now and put my spec, within 2 minutes, it tells me how I should start the whole teaching, the kind of work I should give them, the questions I should set. It gives me everything. So it's making teaching quite easy now. All right? Though we may think about maybe the next 5 years, they will start thinking, do we need 5 teachers? Because one person can do about 3 jobs at the same time. So it may happen, but for now, it's enhancing the job we do. So we need, as we said, learn more skills. So if this skill you are using now is going to be redundant in future, then at least you have added 1 or 2 to it. When I saw phones coming up, I should have made money then. I told some people, back home in Ghana, people were going around homes, taking photographs and making money. Do you remember those days? When I saw phone coming, I said, this job has no future. And today, when you go to Ghana, that job is what? Dead. I saw it before it went dead. So if you are in that business and you didn't see it and develop yourself, you are out of business, isn't it? So AI is coming to increase, it's enhancing the job we are doing, but I can foresee in future some jobs that could be done by 4 people, 1 person or 2 people will be doing it. Because I can see teaching in future becoming more online than physical. in person. Yeah, if you go to most colleges now, most courses are now going to distance for adults. Have you noticed that? Yes, so in future, more courses are going to be online. So if you are a teacher and you are not developing your skills to be able to deliver online, it's going to be a challenge for you. And when I started teaching in this country, the first person who was helping me to get to know the system, he was using slides. You know what? The one we put under the slide, then it will show, then you take it out, and then print another one. And then I was just using PowerPoints. He came to me and said, how are you doing that? How does that? He had everything on slide. And then you put one slide there, take it away. I mean, if he's still there today, I know he's retired. He'll be out of job, isn't it? He needs to learn the new skills and be able to be in business or to be able to be still in job. So we all need to learn it. It's down with us. So learn how to use the AI. In school, it's helping research. Get your topic, put it in there. I'm not saying copy everything, but it gives you an idea. It gives you an idea how to handle it, isn't it? Yes, so please use it. It's a good tool.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jau and Sister Dora, you have time to ask your questions. Nobody raised up their hands again, so I want to believe that the rest of us, you don't have any questions. So Mr. Jonathan will talk to us about the construction industry. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. So when you have, Bezoka say amen, Kassia. Amen. I want to say a big amen again. Amen. 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 One time, baby, I'm the construction for Nabeto. Have you seen where they put the construction people? We have this wrong notion in Ghana because most of us immigrated from Ghana to here that construction job or construct. I don't know what is our word, Nibia. It's an insult. It is used to insult people in Ghana. If you know the amount of money, I am going to repeat it again. If you know the amount of money that is in construction in the UK, you'll be surprised. I am a quantity surveyor by profession. It's one small part of construction. The job I'm on now is 1.5 billion pounds. For only 3 years. Yedi 1.5 billion in 3 years. Can you imagine? They are using some to pay us to deliver that job. People don't want their children to go into constructions. But that is a key aspect. My topic is to tell you a bit about construction and then the different pathway. I think the pathway, Elder has said all of it. When Elder was speaking, the pathway is said. So I wouldn't spend too much time on the pathway, but I will tell you some of the things that you can do when you finish doing those courses. There's something called STEM. I think Elder will know about STEM. Those who knows about STEM? One of STEM courses. See, some people are raising their hands. It's STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and what? Maths. 4 subjects. If you study any of these STEM courses, STEM subjects, or any course that is related to STEM, I can assure you, you'll be fine. I'm going to repeat that again. If you study any of these STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, and maths. You see, a man came to say AI. It is in the STEM subjects I'm talking about. Technology.
if you study any of those, you'll be fine. And universities, I want the young people to write this university down. They are called Russell Universities. Russell University. They are the top universities in the UK. So universities way, and they are top. When your child is picking universities, let them apply to Russell Group universities. Oxford Kahon, Cambridge Kahon, Exeter University Kahon. Osha online, you see all those ones. Apply to them. They are looking for black, Asian, and minority students. When you are writing your CV, your cover letter to the university, and you are the first person in your home, maybe I'll feel university, university, only the first one. Write that you are the first person in your family coming to university. They will give you grants. They'll give you money. Serious. Write cover letters. I have written some of these cover letters with my friends. A friend that I helped to write this cover letter. Otiwa 600 pounds bread. Just because you are the only one in your first person in the university that have come to this school. You said it. 600 pounds free. The following year, the same thing. They up to third year, they are giving her money for free. I am telling you, you don't know this. Yenim. Why not Oxford? Why not Oxford University? Why not Cambridge? Why not Exeter? Why not? Aden, Musro, are you afraid? Guys, I am veering off my subject slightly because most of us came from Ghana. Have you ever seen that? Have you studied this trend? That those that come from Ghana to study here are more successful than Kolani Awomwano. Guys, Beboa, the children that are born here, they are afraid. They are afraid to go and get it. There is money in construction. Do you like Ghana when your child is drawing? Like Kolana Satya, no, you're drawing. No, I draw dying. Ni abuno. We beat our children for drawing every day. Am I lying? In my field, that is a profession. Do you know that? Or you're an architect in the coming. That person, your child is an architect. They draw the houses that you live in. Bridges now, before you see a bridge being built, do you know somebody have to draw it? Somebody have to draw the bridge, to put the beams in there, to put the structures on there, the foundation of your building. Somebody have to draw all those ones. Those are like the drawing. Those are they. Almost they have this vision in their head. Then they put it on paper. Then any architects, that's their job. That is how the construction starts. Somebody will think about something and you draw it. You want to build in Ghana. And that ben a person siminia or so contractor sinisa. Hey, that be after the sinisa na kwa if you tata men wesi amameno. That is how we behave. But when you get an architect, they will draw for you. And then they will show it to you. Is this what you are looking for? No. Can you change here? Then they draw it again. Then they will show it to you. Is that what you want? No. Can you change here? They will draw until they get what is in your head on the paper. Once they finish that, once they finish the drawing, they give it to engineer. The engineers. They are all in the construction industry. They give it to the engineers. Now they look at the building or the bridge or the road or the thing that you have given to them. Now they have to assess, will this building be able to stand? Pillar wu ya ahoden be na ese bam. They calculate the strength. Concrete be na ese odi type be na ese odi the engineer so the iron rods be shema engineer be say for iron rod 10 shaha for 20 shaha for 15 shaha for bi twa say sa beam we ensi okwa sa de ye si we ensi okwa bibi hase. They do all that. That is engineers. And they earn a lot of money. When they finish that, the engineers finish their work, they give it to us. They give it to the surveyors. The surveyors were different types. There were land surveyors. Then they are land surveyors, they are different. And they have quantity surveyors. Me a quantity surveyor. They give us, we do the calculation. How much is going to cost you to build the house that they have designed? I don't know. That's all that I do. The architect will give me the drawing, the engineer will give me all the things, and my job is to tell the client how much it's going to cost them to build it. So that 1.5 billion, we are the one that told National Highways, this road that you are constructing from Milton Keynes to pass through the A428 to go to Castanjebit will cost you 1.5 billion. They can't say anything because they don't know. Yeah, the two are mean yet. It's almost a surveyor for you now for. Ghana was the surveyors Oscar. They are so rich. But yesun kan ho a obey bone. Say yesun kan ho a. And they calculate and then they now tell you this is how much. No kana kasa ani we are no contracts. When the client say yes, that is fine. We write a contract. We do that. The quantity surveyors do that. We write the contract, then we sign. Now for the start is even when you start to build, they have so many people that work on site. We have plumbers. And they are physical for thing. They are the one that build. They have bricklayers. 2 blocks. No. We have carpenters. We have masonries. We have roofers. We have so many skills. Some of the children don't like staying at home. Every time you want to go outside and play, and then you say, if you take that child and put that child in the office environment, the child will run away. That is not what he wants. He wants to be outside. Or per site adwuma. Nani gisade no manenkoye. Do you know plumbers? I'm bringing this to a close very soon. Don't mean chebebre. Do you know plumbers? So bibi say wo fie da. Fre plumber no mra. Enuanum so bibi say ya fre plumber enro ya. Me tenant ba ko frɛ me say the pipe back was a toilet a year sake kakra bi. And I'm a free plumber no ko fie o. It took the guy 35 minutes, 250 pounds. Or the acheme. 35 minutes, 250 pounds cash. And then the bank details sending me. Fatum na minye maun. Manya mi fie ni flooded. Tenant ne say fie ho flooded. 250. And now fee and be flooded. Small plumber. So if the plumber gets this type of job, he gets only 5 of them in a day. How much would that be? 1,250 one day. And I tell you 1,200 the whole week a day. Not what he has or ye construct. Halala. Hulala. What the answer comes from? People are making crazy money. They are making money. My boy say, na for gas engineer. Say omra no many ye na tienibo. To install a full gas boiler, it costs about nearly £3,000. And easy. Na osi oye yes and engineers. Construction, they making money. And I'm bringing this to a close. Baba we yes here. How many of you like Mpotompoto? Mama Sasso. Nipa 1, 2, 3. Okay. How many of us like Jollof? How many people? I want to pay for. Because I didn't break. We just ask question, sir. I didn't hear my mind. So make us say me Mpotompoto. Then you didn't have Obano by force or copy the anya o yamano no. Also by force, or person Obani doctor. I saw them put a Buddha in a name. Ordinary Sabe won't say, ya, no, I had you an bassa, and yes, I done in you. Pet. He doesn't like it. Give the same child the jollof that they like. Obedani when you are betu when you know. Nasa. What food do you like? What profession does your children want to do? My daughter is here. When she was about to go to university, she said, Daddy, I want to do law. I said, sure. I said, no. I want you to take the easier path. Go and do what course did I ask you to do again, Renee? Radiography. See, when you finish, as soon as you finish, you get a job. She went in 1 year. She told me, Daddy, this course, I don't want to do it. I want to do my law. And what happened to mom? And said, go your law. She left radiography and she's now a law graduate. Well, me on the phone in him. And yet you on the phone, but that is not what she wanted to do. And come for sooner. Maybe she will be the most miserable person in life, doing something she doesn't want to do. Do you know what has happened to me? I wasn't the best in class. Papa, I am going to say that again. I wasn't the best in class. So, don't give up. Parents, if your child is not good, don't give up. I prayed, God help me. And I was determined. Say, me sit down. I'll be in construction. I will be there. If your child is not good but determined to do something, let them go. My mother took me to one of the best secondary schools in Ghana. She said, I want you to go and study at Pope John Secondary School. Those that know is in Kufuridua. Very good. I said to my mom, no way. I'm not going there. She said, excuse me? This is one of the best secondary schools, you know. I said, I want to go to Kufuridua Secondary Technical, SecTech. What? I said, because I want to be a builder when I grow up. Thank God she listened. But and I went to that secondary school. And I am in building as well. And what happened, our brother was talking about side hustles. Somebody here. The side hustles. Within building, because I love my job so much, I can do my job and still have time to do other things. Now my side hustle pays me more. The media on channel, it pays me more than my job. As is, I am just doing something on the side. Now, when I say it pays me more, the 1.5 billion in my not way and chain. What am I doing on the side? It's the same building. Construction. Is that the catcher say, I am a self-employed and the quantities are very on top. Me tuto dying. I buy houses. Me ya no my yen ye. Me dem into nam dia mahan. I have houses that I rent out. It's building. I love it. Side houses. But so maybe wait you 1,002, wait you 500, 800, wait you 1. Jinina. A does secretary to me. Why are you sitting there? Why are you limiting your children in certain areas? Me we and Mahusa has a tax on to this country, they tax you a lot because of the business I do. But the money actually Ghana. Me see flats. The same construction. Me see flats. 10 flats. And yes, me can't say if you help your children, that construct na mumuno. That construct that you don't respect. Why ne beti akosi flat mako 10? Ghana. Ene. Me shall say last year, omo bosso. Na enye easy. Niema boy ding. Ba ye yes we didn't. The things that we don't respect, those are where the money is. And when God blesses you on top of that, you'll be so successful. May God bless you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Okay, thank you very much. We will take the questions. We are reserving the best one for the last. There are still presentations to come. We have not done employment law yet. Dr. Echampon is still coming with the university, those who want to pursue accounting. So right now, I'll invite Dr. Nikisha to talk to us about those who want to go into the health sector. Okay, thank you. We've already done the introduction, so she doesn't need any introduction.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sabbath. It's good to be here. Just get this. Right, so I'm Nikisha Robinson, Dr. Robinson, and I'm currently working as a GP. So general practitioner here in Swindon. And initially I thought I was supposed to talk about how to get into medicine, but looking on the program, it actually says how to get into health, become a health profession. So most of you who are thinking about health profession would probably think about jobs like being a doctor, or being a nurse, or being a pharmacist. But what I want to do for the first 30 seconds is to talk to you about the long list. So there's not just doctors, nurses, and pharmacists that make up the healthcare facility. There are others involved as well. So are you ready? Okay. Dental hygienist, dietitian, an occupational therapist. So that's a person who if somebody is elderly or disabled and they want to know how to maneuver, like walk, mobilize, what can be done at home to make it a little bit better for them, so that's a job. Audiologist, look at the ears. Registered nurse we've mentioned, pharmacist we've mentioned. Speech and language therapy, if that's something that interests you. Feet, if you're into feet, you could do podiatry. Optometrist, so remember those when you want your eye test done and you may go, which is different from an ophthalmologist, which is the doctor that will do the surgery. We also have others like paramedics, so those who work in the ambulance service, they're also there for you. Sonographers, so if you have a scan that need doing, There'll be someone there that's doing that scan for you. And psychotherapists, so if you're interested in things like counseling, talking to people about their problems, issue, finding a way, that's also present. So there's a long list, and there's a there. So it's not just, you know, those three major ones. You also have phlebotomists, those who take bloods as well. So in medicine, how many of you here are thinking about going into medicine, becoming a doctor? Any hands? Oh, do I really? Probably I could end this talk here then. Okay, we have one. Okay, so I'll make it in 2 minutes then, and then I'll tell you my story. So becoming a doctor, Elder Sam, or should I say Dr. Sam, mentioned about having to get straight A's in school, straight A's in your GCSEs, and there are many routes. So I'm going to talk about the most well-known route first, and then I'll share my story, and you'll understand a bit more. So straight A's in your GCSEs, and then for your GCSEs, you would choose subjects like chemistry, biology, and possibly physics, or if not physics, mathematics, and English language. Make sure you have at least 3 of those 4 that I've mentioned. So once you finish your GCSE, you then choose your A-levels, and again, we would be hoping that you get A's in your A-levels, and once that is done, you can apply for your medical school. Also, thinking about volunteering, so when you are ready to apply, they like to know that you've had some experience. So linking with someone like me or any of your nurses, or going just to the hospital and saying you're interested in volunteering, they have a very good volunteer program that is available for you. Once that's done, we also have some other exams that you will need to do, and then you apply to medical school. The thing, though, about in this country is that your application is based on your predicted exam results. So if you aren't doing well and it's in your mind that you want to do medicine, and your teacher has given you a predicted grade of B or C, even if you did get an A that year, you probably would have missed out because you need to apply like a year in advance. So that's something to think about and just do well. So that's the most common or the most well-known way. My story is very, very different. I grew up in Jamaica, and while I was in Jamaica, I went to a very good secondary school, Mount Alvernia High School, and I did chemistry, biology. I didn't choose physics. At the time, you needed all 3 subjects to get into medicine. I chose food technology because at that time, I thought I was going to become a food and beverage manager. So I chose food. I finished my equivalent to GCSEs. I got 4 A's and 4 B's. And after that, I thought to myself, I actually did enjoy the sciences. So I pursued the equivalent to an A level in chemistry and biology and mathematics. And in that equivalent, my grade when I finished that was about a B+. And after that, I went to the University of the West Indies in Jamaica, and I pursued a degree in chemistry and biochemistry. Chemistry is the love of my life. As you can see, I've carried it with me all the way through. Is that right, Brother Sam? Sorry, Dr. Sam. So chemistry is what I really love. So once I've completed my degree in chemistry, the question now was, what was I going to do? I then migrated to the USA in Washington, D.C., and I did research. And in that research, I was working in pharmaceuticals, where we were looking at sort of rats and nicotine. So we would inject the rats with nicotine, and the study was to find out if they were an antidepressant. Did that for 1 year, and then I went back home to Jamaica and did teaching for 2 years, and then afterwards I came to the UK. My dream at that time, how many of you have seen the picture of Einstein? You know, very good. So he's wearing a white coat and he had like a mad hairdo. And I still have a bit of hair. So at the time I had my big afro going and I wanted to be in a white coat and I wanted to work in a lab, and that was my dream. So I came to the UK and I was working at a university in Coventry and for 1 year, but then I was working with plants. Plants are boring. I hope there's no botanist here. Sorry if I offended you. So I didn't quite enjoy that research. So then I said, okay, I'm actually going to go into teaching. So at the time I was living in Birmingham, and I went to the University of Birmingham for 1 year and did my PGCE in science. So I became a science teacher. And I taught at a grammar school close just outside of Birmingham for 5 years, teaching chemistry, obviously, the love of my life, and also teaching, and that was at GCSE and A levels, and also year 7 to year 8 general sciences. Absolutely loved teaching. But what I didn't like was the fact that in order for you to promote as a teacher, if you become a head of chemistry or a head of year, it therefore meant that you would have to deal with the naughty kids. And what I loved was my subject, and I didn't want to be in the pastoral side. And, you know, Maslow's law, self-actualization, I couldn't just be a chemistry teacher. You kind of need something on top of that. So therefore, I fell out of love with teaching, and then the thought came to me, at one point, I actually wanted to become a doctor. So I've kind of went the long way around. And while I was a teacher, I was going to a college. There's a college next door to the school, and that's where I did GCSE physics. And I then applied to medical school in Poland, went to Poland for 4 years, and studied to become a doctor. Graduated in 2015, June 2015, and then I found my job here in Swindon in July 2015, and here is my Swindon journey. So I took the very long route. Why have I shared my story with you? Because as Dr. Sam mentioned before, when you choose your career choice, and as a teenager, you don't know where you're going to be in 20 years' time. You don't know where you're going to be in 30 years' time. Be open to change. Be open to taking on new paths, new journeys. When I started my journey in medicine, I was an adult. I was married for a year before I actually went into medical school. So, and when I left my high school, I didn't have all A's. And when I did my A levels, I also didn't have all A's. But that doesn't mean that you can't achieve that goal if it is in fact a goal that you want to achieve. Following on from that, I then, in 2020, I made the decision to leave hospital medicine because I've been working at Great Western Hospital for a good 5 to 6 years. So then I left now Great Western Hospital, and I made the decision to specialize as a general practitioner, and I have been a fully qualified general practitioner for the last year, having my own business, calling my own shots, deciding when I work, choosing if I want to work on a weekend or not, if I want to work at night, having full independence of my time and of my finances, and I give God all the glory and the praise for that. So I'm hoping that by sharing my story with you, it will encourage you that it's okay if you don't have the answer. Choose something you love and enjoy now, and as you go through the next few years, be open to change. The other thing I'm hoping is that if there's any adults in here with any dreams, don't give up on yourself, you know. There is still a chance and an opportunity for you to change career if that is truly what you want to do. So I've taken less than 20 minutes because I'm going to rush off in a little bit, which gives myself 5 time out of my 20 minutes. If there's any question, I'd like to answer those now before I leave. Sorry, yes?
And all that I've heard, as you ask, you can see that it's only one person want to be in NHS field. With my experience from young people, should we know the benefit of placement? Others you did not mention, but I know that placement is part of it. Work experience, you know, when you are in NHS field, there is a work placement that you need to take, which is part of the course. The young people don't like it. I've seen a lawyer who has been graduated and told me, Auntie, I'm not yet a lawyer. Why? I made a mistake because I did not take my placement, so I need to go back to it. How do we encourage our young people the benefit of placement? Because it's part of it, it's not just the theory.
All right, so I'll come back to that question. Was there another question?
My question was about the fact that you basically switched careers, right? So I wanted you to talk a little bit more about the changes that you made throughout life, because from what I saw, you did teaching for 5 years, and then you actually looked to switch careers. So I guess I wanted you to expand a little bit on the things that you looked out for when you were basically changing. You looked out for, and then if there are any mistakes that were made, or some things that you would do differently now, maybe you could expand on that.
All right, so I'm going to answer your question first because I think it's more specific to what, and then I'll come back to the other question. So would I do anything differently? Yes, I would have gone into medicine from the start. I absolutely love my job. I love what I do. And I think, actually in answering this question, I can answer yours. One of the reasons I didn't choose medicine from the start is that I looked around at others who were in university studying, and the doctors or the medical students that I saw, they looked sad. They were always studying. They missed all the parties. They missed all the fun. They were just always, and I would think to myself, why would anybody do that to themselves? Like, live a little, do something. And so those who were studying medicine did not make it look fun. And when you look at the job, it just looks also as if they were always working nights, always working weekends, and it didn't attract me. However, now that I am in the job and I am seeing it through my eyes, I realize that the few that I saw sort of misrepresented what medicine is all about. It's so varied. You can go into radiology, you can become an eye specialist, you can, whatever bit of the job that you don't like, you can choose another area in medicine that will appeal to you. So I would say if you love science and you genuinely have a thought that you could be, good at this is something, give it a go. I think it's the best job out there, and I wish more and more people would find the joy or the desire to want to get into medicine. So the question she asked about placement can be good and bad. You can be in the wrong placement, and by being in the wrong placement, you make the decision that this is not for you, while there are so many other placements where others are having good experience, and vice versa. So just be true to yourself and what's in your heart and find what you're looking for. I'll take the last question, or 2 questions, and my time will be up.
guess this is also a contribution to my sister. I think when you were talking about the NHS careers, because I'm a midwife, registered midwife. So when it comes to placement, good placements or bad placements, it's going to be challenging for those of you who want to do nursing, midwifery, but always know, as my brother was saying, always know that you're going for gold. Because if you do get a mentor in your placements, some of them are going to discourage you. I've had some young midwives. At this moment in time, we're getting a lot of international midwives from Ghana. So where I'm working and they see my name, Eriedu, I said, oh. So bad placements could mean that maybe they're not signing you off. But know your goal. So they'll ask me to sign them off for some, experience. But the good thing about it, that if you know what you want to get out of it, always work hard and you know you're going to complete. And another place to look for NHS careers is just go on the website, NHS careers. There's so many of them. As my daughter here, the younger one, wants to work in health, orthoptists and different stuff that you can find on yes. So it's all there on the NHS careers. Amen.
That was a very, very positive contribution. I'll take one more here.
Thank you very much. My question was actually for Elder Dr. Sam, but since you answered a portion of it, I will still ask the other part if you and Elder Dr. Sam can help me. So you said that we should be open to change. When I started my university, I did mathematics, economics, but I found myself in HR in Ghana. And I did it so well. I got promotion and all that. And now I'm here. I'm doing a different thing altogether again here, quality. So my question is, when back home, you wanted to do many things, they would say, no, focus on one, jack of all trade, master of none. So my question is, can someone actually decide to do different careers at the same time without losing focus? I have another question for the entrepreneurs and then the construct also.
Okay. So in terms of choosing your career path, whatever you focus on expands. And they've talked a bit about doing side hustles. People have talked about educating yourself. So if you're in a career path, it just depends on it. I don't think, sometimes you can blend two together. For example, if you have an interest in law and you also have an interest in medicine, then you could go into medical legal. So there is a way of sometime putting, two together. So you can think about, for example, I have an interest in teaching. I also have an interest in medicine. I have the option of teaching at a medical school. Or also I have the option of teaching newly qualified GPs or medical students who are coming into their placement. So a lot of the time when you have more than one interest, there is a way to join them up. You can think about that and see how best that goes. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry I won't be here for the end. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nikisha. God bless you. So I will now invite Dr. Echampo to come and talk to us. And after that, Mrs. Efriye will continue. And we will do the army people, and we will give more room for questions if there are time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elder. So I've been asked to talk to you about accounting. And I have a presentation. I think my brother will put it up for me. I do have a presentation, but usually I have a problem preempting what you would like to hear. So if you don't mind, if you had a burning question about accounting, if there's anything about accounting that you would want me to explain, I would rather do that now instead of preempting. Otherwise, I do this for a living. I can talk for 5 hours. You might not benefit from it. So if there is one thing that you would rather know that will serve a need rather than me talking at you. So is there anybody who has any question at all about accounting? Apart from Giovanni, because he's done a degree in accounting, so he's exempt. Anybody who would like to know? If you don't want to know anything about accounting, then probably there's no point in me continuing. Yes, boss. Okay. Relevant question. Right. Can you practice without a qualification, a professional qualification? Okay, so let me answer that question. The answer to that question probably will help us to understand what accounting is. Maybe about 35 years ago, I was a young boy, sat under a tree somewhere in Nkranza. You probably know Nkranza in Ghana. And there was a teacher who saw me playing Owari with the adults. And I was very good in Owari. So Mr. Fokuo was the name. He said, I think you'll be a very good accountant, you know. I'm like, what's that? And here I am, right? So many years later, nobody actually sat me down to ever really explain what accounting was about. When I went to secondary school, well, I was very fortunate to be the one to decide on the subject that I would do. I was a young boy. I decided Elder Foku, accounting. So I went and did business with accounting. Then I did a degree in Ghana. I did accounting. Came over to the UK, chartered as accountant. Did a master's in accounting. I'm like, there is more to accounting. So I added finance to it. And the rest is history. So what is accounting? Well, Jesus talks about accounting in Luke 16. There are a couple of stories told in Luke 16 in which Jesus gave a parable. And it's one of the most problematic parables in the Bible because at the end of it, you're thinking, why is Jesus saying this? So essentially, Jesus talks about a very rich man. We've heard about money a lot today, haven't we? Gold, money. Everybody has talked about resources or wealth. So in Jesus' parable, a rich man heard that his manager, the person managing his wealth, was being a bit shrewd, right? He was being a bit profligate, I mean, if we have to say it that way. So he called him and said, can you please give me account of the wealth that I've entrusted to you because I hear you're mismanaging the funds. In fact, Jesus uses the word stewardship. I want you to give a stewardship account. So because the man hesitated, Jesus said, the rich man said, you're fired, effectively. You're fired. But before you go off, think about what you do. So this guy apparently went away quickly and thought to himself, ooh, I've lost my job. But to bring Elder, who spoke about construct, Jesus spoke about construct and said, the guy said, I'm not strong enough to dig and construct. So how am I going to survive? Well, what I'll do is, I know all the people who owe my master. So he quickly went through the accounting records and said, you owe me, my master, 100. Please quickly take this sheet of paper and let's change it, right? Change it to 80. And then he went to another guy. And at the end of the story, just to cut it off, Jesus was like, the master heard about this shrewd manager and commended him. He commended him and he said, you're very smart, right? You're kind of trying to find a way to survive because you know you're losing your job. And because of that, Jesus went on and said some very profound things like, if you cannot be trusted with a little, then why would you be given much? If you cannot be trusted with things that belong to other people, then why should you be giving something on your own? It's so profound. I mean, look at Luke 16. Why have I told you this? An accountant, effectively, by profession, is somebody who is entrusted to look after the resources of another. Okay? So you start off helping other people manage their wealth. When I use the word people, I'm not just talking about human beings. I'm also talking about artificial entities. So I'm talking about businesses, I'm talking about government. Every institution, any institution, church, charity, any institution in the world, any business, you heard about entrepreneurs, everybody needs somebody who will look after their wealth. And that person is an accountant. There are too many types of accountants. But have you thought about this quote that I have on the screen there? If you look at the big entities in society, if you look at the people who rise to the top, you heard about gold in the sermon. Right at the top of most institutions, the people who matter the most will usually have a financial background. So the ones that really look after the big bags. There is a reason, right? And that was the point that Jesus was teaching in that parable. If you can learn the skill of taking very good care of wealth, you are an answer to a lot of human problems. And that is what accountancy is about. Unfortunately, sometimes when we've had people explain who an accountant is to us, the notion that comes out is somebody who counts the bean. All that he has is he's got a calculator, and he likes spreadsheets, he likes numbers. These are all myths, right? They are myths. The essence of the role of an accountant is somebody who has the skill and who is worthy of being trusted, right? They can give a very good account of every movement of wealth, right? And because of that, it forms the basis of excelling in problem solving. So let me just maybe narrow my conversation a bit, because my topic was to talk about accountancy in the university. That will help me answer my brother's question. No, you don't have to be qualified or be a member of an accounting body to practice as an accountant. No, because you can do it. However, in this country, there are laws, there are statutory regulations on who can call themselves an accountant. So if I go around telling people that I'm a qualified accountant and I begin to perform certain roles, it could be a criminal offense. So I can do what accountants do as long as I don't mislead people and say I'm qualified. The moment I say I'm a chartered accountant, I must be qualified. So there are many ways into getting into accountancy. As I have said, you don't need a qualification. You can learn the trade and never be called an accountant, but be doing the job of an accountant. But why do that? Why do that when there are opportunities? If that's what you really enjoy, I like the passion of Elder. If that's what you really want to do, it's very straightforward. I mean, the discipline is required, but there are many opportunities. Let me just focus on university, right? I'm just coming home because you could go into accountancy through apprenticeship. It's very common now. Once you finish your GCSEs or your A-levels, there are big, huge accountancy firms that are crying out for people, right? Crying out for people. They take you on, you earn, and you learn, right? On the job. You could become a chartered accountant coming through as an apprentice. in an accountancy firm. But universities do it very well, right? So you heard about the Russell Group. There are other universities that also have very good accountancy programs. So what I want to talk about now is, you see now I'm preempting that probably you want to know, right? I don't know if you really want to know this, but let me talk about it. If you or your child or somebody you know wants to go to university to study accountancy, tell them that it's beautiful. I mean, if there was time, I would let Giovanni testify about that. Because the reason why you rise to the top quite quickly when you've learned accountancy is you learn all of that. Very good degrees in accountancy will start you off. Of course, accounting is a cream, but accountancy doesn't occur in a vacuum. You're always working with people or businesses. So you need a very good understanding of how to manage a business. You are trained to become a professional. I spoke about the statutory requirements. So you have to be trained as a professional because there will be legal implications and all that. So there are professional skills that you have to embody before you are accepted into the community of practicing accountants. But besides all that, you realize that, wow, there are so many other add-ons, other whistles and bells on top of accountancy. So there are many different ways that you can specialize. There are many other skills and fields of specialization. But whatever you do as you scrutinize the course offering, our sister spoke about work experience. Think about that, because there's no point in you learning the theory and not being able to proverbially balance the books, right? So very good accountancy degrees don't only teach you the theory, but you get the opportunity, and again, Giovanni is a perfect example of what happens. You do 2 years at uni, you spend a year in industry, you go back and you finish, you have a job, right? And you rise to the top. Can we go to the next slide quickly? I don't know how I'm doing for time. Effectively, the reason why probably coming to university to study accountancy is better than going through the apprenticeship route is you get other things. You get graduate attributes. I know we probably haven't touched on this, but let me just say it briefly. All knowledge is the same. There's an element of knowledge that makes you a better person of yourself. And these are some of the skills that are generic. There are specialist skills that will differentiate between a lawyer, a doctor, somebody in construction or whatever. But if you look at the basis of it, you need to understand how to see problems and how to turn them into business opportunities. We've heard about that. What resources do you need? How do you solve problems? How do you talk to people, communicate? How do you understand other people in terms of personality? All of that, and my brother touched on that as well. You need that discipline to be open to new ideas, and coming to university effectively will give you all that, especially an accounting degree. You cannot pass any accounting course without ticking all those boxes. If you come to the bottom there, somebody spoke about AI, artificial intelligence. Very good university degrees in accountancy have opened up their curriculum to embedding programming skills in it. Why? Because as an accountant, you need to be able to process data. You need to be able to look at numbers, stories, and make sense of it. And AI is at the heart of that. So effectively, by choosing to go to university to study accountancy, not only are you knocking on the door to becoming a chartered or professional accountant, you're also getting other skills that will make you very useful. And again, sorry to be mentioning the name Giovanni, because Giovanni joined an accounting and finance degree, but if you ask him now, he's not knocking on the door of accounting, because finance is even bigger and better than accounting. And the only way to get into finance, the best way, is through the door of accountancy. And that was my world. Did a degree, practice accountancy, boring, go into finance. Because finance is where you talk about wealth. You talk about financial markets, you talk about government. Ghana you understand? How can you look at all those complex needs and prepare financial reports for? That is what you'll be preparing yourself for. So to finish it off, the last slide, please. Accounting, because our brother, made me talk about professional qualifications. Once you finish your degree, to be called an accountant, you need to pass exams of these global accountancy bodies. Usually there are 15 of them. 15 3-hour closed book exams. So you pass all of them, and then you have your ACCA badge or whatever. You can practice anywhere, right, globally. So effectively, that's very good. But if you go to a very good university and study accountancy, you pass your exams along the way. So, for example, where I work, by the time you finish, you would have, if you wanted, you would have had the equivalent of 12 of those exams credited to you. You only have 3 more to do. Beautiful, right? So if you have kids who like asking questions, always want to scrutinize things and relatively good with numbers, that could be them. If they choose a very good university, they would be part qualified if that's what they want. Otherwise, that's not the end. There are unlimited opportunities. If we go to the next slide, one more please, just to wrap up. Just wrap up. I can't count them. Right? I cannot count them. And these are all destinations of my students, people who have learned with me. Right? These are roles that they've gotten into. If you keep pressing, there'll be so many of them. You go into finance, consultancy, modeling, designing things, and besides all that, you will be able to set up your own business. Right? If you're a chartered accountant, you don't need to work for anybody. You set up your own business, you prepare accounts for people. If you don't like that, you can go into financial advice. And I haven't even begun there, right? Not far from here, right? You go to Siren Sister, you've got St. James's Place Wealth Management. It's huge. FTSE 100 company. All they do, these guys, is they advise rich people about what to do with their money. How about that? Very rich. So accounting is a very good subject to look at, or area or domain of practice, because it can open the door to a lot of opportunities that could be unbeknown to you. Thank you very much. I don't know if there are any questions. No questions? Okay, thank you.
Happy Sabbath. So I've been asked to talk about the rights at the workplace. So what every employee should know in 20 minutes. Yes, therefore, the Bobo the tougher. Employment rights, we need a whole day to talk about it. And but I start here free and say all your rights are in your employment contract and your employee handbook. You would do those saying, and they name what is in their employment contract. Maybe name the old medium. Oh, yeah, all of it. Every clause in your contract. Well done. Uncle's name there. Last year, my papa free mo. Now I needed to get compassionate leave. I'm saying, hey, now I'm compassionate leave there. I had to go and check because I didn't know. Meaning say about 80% of us, your contract now, you sign near the ama HR near ko. Obi kura sign on sign for my HR kura. No the ko. Enti onim the rights to adwuma. But contract of employment no law say them out. So section 1 of the Employment Rights Act 1996 say for adwuma they have to give you a contract. And now as I listing your man as I say a back contract ni mo nyina. Nti mo amosi mo nim there one more contract ni mo keka bi ncha then there one more contract. Holidays, sickness, your entitlement to sick pay, compassionate leave, okay, and parental leave, maternity cover, bereavement leave, okay, notice, and then remuneration, send a bit to our car, then be in the room. And they hear panel and can you session salary, supervision, appraisal, I know your capability, and act and say, Yanka with job title, do it then, with place of work. And I'll be what hours of work. Inti yemu bebre ko adwuma onim say ya fa no full time. Na adwuma ye ABA 9 to 5 and that's all yet 12 hours. 8 to 12. Inti no anonim. ABA contract no that's not what it says. Every crowd was 0 hour contract. Omon can show but with the OJ contract na employment law, there is no equal bargaining power. Inti say, ukota there, or some magic say, usmechi say ne de ama, o pejuma. Into ukwa de be mo bi a ojemeboa. Ye mo do say na ahwe contract maka say, we de mentia say nti adwuma na menye. Obi ankasa nti de be mo bi ante ye very important say, ubehu de wo contract ni mti mesere mo, obi akofi a onko hwehwe ne contract. Na onhwe de wo say wunni a from manager say omo a copy of your contract. Because I want to make fun of money in a contract, I create handbook. Until every contract will direct you to your employee handbook. And none of your other benefits are wo ewe jumamuho. Before and I Ghana for idea be say ye say, oh, uka juma say yo say, as I say yo say. And you need your contractual rights. It be company no. And then you need statutory rights. It be your contractual rights. Until be a company na per se or there no be count home. Until say me company and mama say I'm be catch or say as a sales manager you say now could raise green files. Who in the case because you encounter or say you be massa. Until your contract, the statutory rights no they have to be in the contract. Inti ne yina be wo omo de ne yina be wo contract and handbook nim the any contract na new handbook no e che say we need that benefit adwuma bi wo ha enim nso omo de no be ma nti a typical example here statutory sick pay emra e wo kromu ha say we yare a yentua wo ka nyina na say ye ma statutory sick pay I believe that now £106 and now 116 a week. That is all you are entitled to statutory. Inti ejuma bebre, that's all they pay. But ejuma bi wo ho a almost say, oh, we are right, bet you full pay for 6 months and now for 3 months. And then you tell half of your pay for 3 months. And you're contractual. Bi wo ho almost say it's at the discretion of your manager and now the company. And no want to make because you don't have the right to. The over the right to is the SSP, which is the 116. I know the Oman Tia, what you know much amount so now the Oman assume the Bama on the one or mobile. I'm talking that way because Ejuma may and say me litigation consultant. Ejuma may answer what they were Juma for court. I may call defend you more. I will tribunal. And then I make us say, we need one man, so don't waste your time. Until because I write in the doors, until you pay back home. Now, I can host a one seminar. Yes, I be jack of all trade, master of none. Ye, bibia. Until now, you can holidays. Your entitlement to holidays. I think they are not relevant to everyone. Until you have annual leave, and I say holidays. Until you your eligibility to holidays, your holiday entitlement, how it is calculated, when can you take the holidays, can you carry it over or not, holiday pay, and if you don't get paid your holiday, what can you do, what remedies are there? Until every worker is entitled to paid holiday. Nti ya for adwuma mu no nko de se say yetua worker. Make us a worker, man ka say self-employed. Nti ya ka entrepreneurship na wakobie adwuma na obi say beye because of adwuma fan say plumber. No na akọ say beye me plumber na wa man invoice why you be on file adwuma ma he doesn't have to pay you holiday. Nti self-employers are not entitled to annual leave from the contractor. Employees, workers are entitled to holidays. Nti workers include employees, apprentices, those on 0-hour contracts, casual workers, agency workers. You are all entitled to holidays. Nti say you holiday na obetimi atwe ho amanso. So what are your entitlements to holiday or annual leave? Statutory entitlement to holidays is 5.6 weeks, and I say 28 days in a year. And 5.6 weeks no yachemuminu. The year ya 5 back first 4 weeks no and 1.6. They ensoka home. First 4 weeks, from the working time directives. Nti mra time na can you for hono. Na you for mra. Na eba UK ha. UK aban no say a directive UK aban to me regulation. Na what twisting I said you pay. Nti working time directive ne can say yema obia 4 weeks. And a UK buy say, oh, me them pesa me mom, pesa mom 1.6 eka home. Into omo working time regulation. And as a result of that regulation, we are entitled to 5.6 instead of 4. But your matter say, Mumfa went to meeting because yebe can ho asem actually yebe explaining some kind of entitlement. Into holiday entitlement 5.6. First 4 weeks, for the working time directives, 1.5 from the working time regulation. And how is it calculated? And holiday do not say now, I say 28 days. 28 days in a year for full time. Until we have full time, and our works are 5.6 weeks now, and I said 28 days. So we have 4 days a week, 22.4 days. So we have 3 days, 16.8. We have 2 days, 11.2. We have 1 day a week, I finish in our holiday 5.6 days a year. And time ben and I'll be to be a holiday. Holiday no is a funny year nim afinimu. Nti holiday years maybe started from January to December. Most of them started from April to March. Within that year, no, you have to take the holidays. You have to give notice before you take your holidays. Abrofo no say, only abrofo ye ejuma by December, no we're booking the holiday for the whole year. Yanso ye de ye betena ho onim so obekọ Ghana March. 1st February, no akọjọ won say me pe holiday. Ghana ni bia akọ ejuma ma ne ma me enwu ane papa wu. Enti manager na afa ma ne pe ne ma me ewu ne papa wu. Yes, I didn't know 1 year. Plan it. Book it well in advance. We contract never catch you. Says a open holiday. As I saw, mark this number of days notice. Obe fill the form no ha. Obe just follow that, so there will be peace. So while I'm booking a year, they don't have to give it to you. You don't have any records for that. And holiday no, I can say the whole year no over 28 days. In your first year of employment, you have to accrue it. Say yes, holiday year started from January to December. Now what 28 days are. What do you mean January, not February, also may 28 days. Unya 28 days, no. 28 days near say why from January to December. You cannot legally you cannot take it until you have accrued the holiday. Say Ufa 3 days. I think say for every 3 months you have Ochichema. I'm not good at maths. Ochichema 5 days. Into Ubaso for holiday within your first year now. Accrue it first. Ubuku holiday, they might tell you, say, you haven't accrued this much. This is how much you have accrued, and you can take that. Mr. Oman ko share manso. Unyaye. So ubefa. And carry over. When can you carry over your holidays? Because I say you have to take it within the year. It is happening in our one for holiday, no. And I want to me and Fabia, every bay, and I'll be to me a carry over. 4 weeks in the say a year from the working time directive, no. You cannot carry it over. Because omo ye emra says omo anya sa nipa home. And say compulsory, you have to take it. The only time I carry over long-term sickness into one timia, then you can carry it over. And I said now maternity leave, you can carry it over. And I say bibinti wajuma mu for na mawanfa so I busy and I bibinti mawanfa that you can carry over. And yes, they are. One far, I shall take it or lose it for the first 4 weeks. You know. Now 1.6 weeks now can I say from UK by working time regulation there. Say the contract ne cano and this what you remember for this idea so 1.6 na can they will also tell you the rules that will apply to it. The contract never can say so one far by this time you will lose it. And now say it is at the discretion of your manager whether you can carry it over or not. I hope I'm within my 20 minutes. Now, Oko holiday in say necessity until you are entitled to your normal salary. So Oko holiday and just say, Bosumi Yachaoka 10,000. Alcohol holiday, I say amount 10,000. Payment of the first 4 weeks, it must include commission, compulsory overtime, bonus. Inti say you have to be overtime. Inti wakati ano kosoro bosume bia. So alcohol holiday na yetua oka. As I say yetua sa overtime na we no. Eka o normal pay no. As I say yes scan na we overtime a obenya no. And alcohol holiday na yetua ma. And no encourage nipa mo ko holiday because anya sa obi nko holiday because alcohol holiday ni sika na so beti. Into onko. Almost person wo ko home. Into 4 weeks na EU mra na there. They have to include commission, bonus, compulsory overtime, shift premium, and allowance in that. 1.6 ne and no they enka ho. And no they are buying a sword they are that will not include commission. Until you do baby ombetumi calculate wo holiday pay no mienu. And then the bema ma calculate ni mienu because 4 weeks no na isa some the bonus ne ka ho 1.6 no and isa some the bonus ne ka ho. Na so ubuku holiday now we are in so over anything. So ubuku holiday ya authorized na for some reason wuntimi a ubetimi a cancel holiday no. Ya fan so ubuku 1 week na first day no why area ubetimi a cancel holiday no. You just need to tell them say you are not on holiday, you are on sick leave. Until now we follow sickness procedure no. Now a holiday now for you to take some other time. Or long-term sick, or you're only entitled to SSP. 116 yameka intimate yahre. Inti sa upe wo holiday pay during sick time now. You can ask. Ubetimi aka show employer and say, "Me off sick alright, but can I take my holiday for financial reasons?" They can do that for you. But they cannot force you to take holiday whilst you are off sick. Nti so we are with fear. Umuntu can just say, "NF a holiday there be." So wo person fa there ubisa ombetumi amawafa. Nti say yentua holiday and I am a holiday. What can you do? Remedies be na wo. First, I think every grievance policy in our handbook is informal. So, ube bisa o manager say, "Ada na mama ko holiday, ana na mko holiday, mo nchiameka." And then, if that is not resolved, you can raise a formal grievance. If that is not resolved, you contact ACAS. If that is not resolved, you go to the tribunal. Now, all the way you ko tribunal say, "Yentia o holiday and then na obenya." Holiday na yentia no kwa na obenya. Unye bibia nka ho. Nti yemfa ne say holiday na say 500 and a yentia 500 and no and a tribunal no be award amount. Nti yemfa ne what yentia holiday na wakoka na almost ye betia holiday na mawa. Enya wadwen say okọ tribunal obenya mo nti wonye. So okọ tribunal na 500 na wanye na eno a na ye betia ma. The only time ubetumi enya bibia ka ho ne say ebia oba adwuma ni me yama contract. We say yes as Emeka say section 1 of the Employment Rights Act say yama obi a contract. This say yama contract no and now dey adwuma na court tribunal na one way near. Tribunal no be award between 2 weeks and 4 weeks pay. Aka ho that is the only time. And yes are there holiday obenya no. In a summary, holiday I want to say no but to be a question be an answer. Hey, okay, wait, answer the first. Wait for my camera.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but I just wanted to add, it's not really a question. Well, I don't know whether it's a question or not, but I know we also have PAL, where people can buy holidays. So for example, if you've exhausted your holiday for the first part of the year and you really need one, you can speak to your employer to see if they will agree PAL for you. PAL is paid annual leave. So you buy the annual leave and then they deduct it from your pay at the end of the month. But I believe that is on discretionary if your salary is enough to cover that. So I wanted to mention that. I don't know if you did before.
Thank you, Auntie. And my contractual agreement, Enya adwuma bia na masa opportunity na enya bebia na obetumi ato adwuma bi ho a they'll give you opportunity to even sell some of your holidays to them, and you can also buy some enya adwuma bia.
Just to add up to what my sister just said, sometimes we don't want to go to holiday. You see holiday somewhere covered by somewhere. Say, Miami, cover Miami holidays, Kenty. What you want, how be? Many are no more NG at home. Miss Ramo. And then the American who be here. Legality. Say, company was a more also. Oh, what do you have? And they encourage you to work instead of going on holiday. Or the one who are in here, the human or the fast war. But remember, one day you will not be there. We also will be here, human. The message we are here, home kakra. Now, we also are. So we yes, sir, on the human one. You bet me, I bet me, I need to be an answer.
So, Obi, yeah.
So, I maybe or far with liberty, and now with vulnerability, who you sure. I point to me,
I guess, okay, and also only I couldn't pay school. And that's how I buy into me. Or no cash I was there, or holiday, two bets me a bookie. I know I'm out, I says, oh, I'll bet Tom be a man, and I'll obey. And it's up to you. When you cash out, say, oh, holiday, we are betting me at taking a day. I'm buying anyway. So I'm a one qua.
Me pacho na wo ka bibi na se ho no na me maye kakra se ebia ma sign me holiday ma sign e dia ama me manager se ebia me ko 2 weeks na ma sign dia ama no ono so age asign ama me na me ko na bia ma twa 1 week ebia the following week me yare metimi aka chere se sa me second week me yare ntino on fa no as like sick na me entrefie na fe na say ni masama ko
ai me ba cho betimi ayesa ba wo ya ebe ko sickness policy nti enye wunya pay na nka obenya no so onye entitled to contractual sick pay SSP na ebetu ama.
So for me, I'm just curious about the unlimited holidays because I know that a lot of companies actually do unlimited holidays. So I'm just curious to, I guess, get to know how you deal with that because I guess you are on the company side, so you get to see how they manage that. But yeah, I'm just curious if you have any stories. Yeah, the unlimited holidays.
Okay, my uncle the question is, you may be almost bet me a holiday be our pay. I think the last time they a virgin and yes sir. Legally, so company in your mouth are 28 days holiday now. The akabia your company and no one between you and the company, your contract. There's no legal rule about that. The Oya required to give you is the 28, which he has. And also, Mama will be brave. The policy on unlimited holiday will tell you what the rules are or what you should do and not do about it.
Yeah, on the holiday, you said the legal one is 28 days. Actually, some companies take out the Christmas from that 28 days. And other days, are they legally required to do that? Or the 28 days excludes the government other days, that the 8 days that the government has given anyone, bank holidays?
Okay, it includes the bank holidays. 28 days don't include the bank holidays, no, but some companies can be generous and say it doesn't include the bank holidays. Into your contract, does it say the amount no include the bank holidays include the bank holidays no? Companies they have some period that they need the people to be there. To make holiday that time no. Into say during this time you have to take your holiday. Even though you think they've taken it from you, A holiday, you will have to book it anyway, but they won't take covered. Until now, almost take it like Christmas or Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. You are entitled to have days off, but those days, maybe Christmas. Until you wouldn't say Christmas, no, because I remember Juma Christmas. But what I say? There's no work. There's no work. There's a say we will not need you at that time. No, bet me I can say for our holidays be that time, especially Christmas and New Year. Any Christmas, any Christmas present, any Christmas bonus.
My question is about the statutory sick pay. By law, how many days do you have to be off sick before you can get a sick note to take to your manager? Or how many days do you have to stay at home before you can? Because, for example, if you know you are going to be sick for, let's say, 3 weeks, with that 3 weeks, I cannot go to my GP today and say that, oh, I'm sick, I'm going to be sick for the next 3 weeks, so can you give me sick notes to give to my manager? So how many days do I have to be sick at home to be able to request for the letter to give it to my managers?
Thank you very much. For SSP purposes, for statutory sick pay purposes, the first 3 days are waiting days. It's not counted. It is we are only entitled to SSP. Now you are at 3 days that you will not get paid. Because first 3 days, it's waiting days. It's not counted. It is when you are at 3 days, then you are 1 week. Because 3 days, and sick note so for the first 5 or 7 days of sickness, you can print your own sick note from government website. Self-certification. So you can self-certify for the first 7 days. You don't need GP to do that for you. So we are at 3 days now. Ebedi 7 and now we did 3 hours until we are at 7. You go to the government website. Now what print it? You send it to your employer. After 7 days, you then go to the GP. Not GP natural so feel.
You're opting out of 48-hour week. Is it maybe an employer and never employee? Can you ask for that?
The question is, you may be say, over to me, I more than 48 hours because, as I said, we have 48 hours. Into opting out, say employee, and a demand over to me. Uber to me bisa, but you don't have a right to it. Employer announcing to me force you to do it. Until I contract the paper never say so Uber to me until you can also ask, but you cannot insist on having it.
We don't even read our contract. Sometimes, if it's a professional job, you can negotiate your pay, especially if you've got some experience. And then the contract comes and then they tell you this sum they're giving, and you can say, no, I have done that before. The salary came and I looked at it and said, no, that's not the money I'm looking for. Can you add a little bit more? And because they are stuck at that time, because they really want you, you have to be very careful when you are negotiating that, because otherwise they can pull it and give it to somebody else. But make sure you have secured it. You are winning some foul. Know your wealth, how much you value. To be very honest, I'm see at you. Because near him, you buy how much I can be an engineer sign. But I say, oh, the boss, no, you have to add a bit more. I'm worth more than this. Not only negotiate, but me crack on. So I found Kahano Agency, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, the query, you know. So, those of us in the minority, yeah, what the harvest of pulling the discrimination card. Bibia or see discrimination. And you Bibia na discrimination. Some discrimination are positive anyway. And some discrimination are allowed. We don't have time to talk about discrimination. But my advice I'm a mamu and I say, so if something is going on and you're not happy with, don't start pulling the discrimination card. Ask questions. Ebia uno bi na ye adwuma. Da bia wo ba, wo nkwa wani abre a wo ye adwuma no ni akwa obolase or koba. Obi anka hwenche for you know manager ne hu me nka se ne nyina na bia na manager ne hu ye. Ko manager no na koka se de ekoso nti wo hu. Ana say ni say na ekoso mani nye ho. En sha say nko ka say na me ye tuntum nti na omoye mesa. I'm talking from the employer side. My recent cases, na Ghana for, and I was so worried. There was no reason for them to be there. If you are in doubt, and then Google, you can check everything. For CAB, they will tell you, Madam Asi.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Efriye. Technically, our time is up. We are supposed to leave here. But I believe that some of us still have questions. And people are here. We've spoken to the elders, thankfully. They are extending our time by an hour. But we are not going to use the whole hour. We just want to take the questions. Mr. Construction is here. Those in the other. So if you have any question on the presentations that we have done so far, we will take them. After that, the Army, they have a very, very important announcement for us. I don't know if you know, on the 19th, they are doing recruitment for Commonwealth. So maybe you have your brother in Ghana or sister in Ghana. There's an opportunity for the person to come here. So if you have any question, if you have any question for Mr. Educhimkwe or Mr. Jonathan or any of the presidents, Sam is also here. Okay. So, okay, if you have a question, can you please raise up your hand so that we will know? You take them after that, the Army will do their presentation and you'll be gone. Please, if you have a question, can you come forward? If you have a question, come forward.
Okay, my question is, I think, is for Dr. Sam. I have, well, I've got a 7-year-old girl.
Oh, okay. 7 years.
7 years. So my first question is, at what age or what stage do I have to find out that she's not going to be set on that, is it national, the minimum?
The bottom set,
foundation.
top
Yeah,
set,
the foundation.
Foundation paper.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So at what age do I have to find out about that? And also, I think this one will go to you. She's really, really, really talkative. She talks for England, and she lies outside. So what kind of career or what kind of job that it can be introduced to her? Because at the moment, whenever I ask her what she wants to do, she says she wants to be a vet.
Okay.
Because she likes animals, but I know she cannot talk to the animals and she cannot be indoors. So what path can I put at
okay, I'll go for the first side. No? In terms of bottom set and top set, the game starts from year 9. That's where it becomes serious. And then the same year going to 10 and 11, then what year 10 is where lower foundation and higher people are chosen, because that's when they are preparing for the final year in year 11. So that is where parents must be very watchful. You must follow up and find out what paper is my son or daughter going to write in the final exam. Because other than that, as I said, the school will choose the easier way for your son or daughter. Because they want them to pass. And once they get 100%, hallelujah, the school is happy. But is that what you want for your child? In terms of the sex, I've told you that they want all the children to be in the same class. But some are troublesome. And some, it takes time for them to learn. So they try to group them. And so you have to, when you go for parents' meeting, ask, what set is my son or daughter? And they will freely talk to you about that. Then you start asking the questions, what brought about this, or how can we move from here, A to B? They have systems and help over there. But if you don't ask, they will manage it for you. Once you become involved, the management becomes better than when you leave it in their hands.
Okay, on the second part of your question about your daughter liking a lot of talking and always want to communicate, it might not necessarily be in construction. There is also, she can be a journalist. Journalism is very good. They go outside, they speak to people, they interview people. There's a lot of money in it. They can even start it early and do it online. Interviewing people. Have you seen the guy that is interviewing the people from, and he's having a lot of money out of that? Or sani pass I know the office now all the computers in anymore. Wahano. Because she likes communicating. Or if you can combine that communication with science, a doctor, because then you say a patient's back, they talk to the patient, they want to ask questions. Eti manehwe like him na manen kan na enkamum ebe hu baby opeso defa. We okay? Na me sure that's it.
Okay, control me pacho Many Jehovah. Our brother Archie, he's watching from Zoom, and he wants me to ask, what courses can he do if he wants to enter into construction? And myself, my wife spoke to me about construction, and I spoke with some health and safety guys. And then they are showing me green card, red, white card, and all those things. Like if you don't have experience, you go for green, and if you can throw a bit light on it.
So the courses that you can do to go into construction is vast. Many courses. We have, as I said, if you want to be normally the name of the course is associated with a profession. Like quantity surveying, you go to the university, you have to do quantity surveying. You become a surveyor. Engineering, you go and you have civil engineering. That they are the civil engineers. They do the structures. They build all the structures. Mechanical engineers. That means you are going to go into the mechanical side of how things operate. We have architecture. So when you go, you have if you go online. If you search for university and then look for School of Building and Architecture, it gives you all the courses. It depends on what your interest is. See, I can give him as many courses as he likes, but if he's not interested in that, you go in there and you wouldn't enjoy it. So you have to know what he wants to do, and then his interest. And then there's a course associated with that for him to do. And also you were talking about environmental and health and safety and all those ones. Those are some of the courses that people don't know that you can, if you have a degree in environmental studies, you can come and work in the construction industry. Do you know that? You have no idea how, because before we start to build the road, before we start to build a house, do you know what they do in this country? They go and they check those environmental teams. Go in there and look at the number of animals that are there. We have a bird, we have newts. The animals that
environmental impact assessment.
That is correct. They do that, and then we are not allowed to go anywhere close to those yeah, Laura Kwan, baby, yeah, Laura Kwan, ya. Omo who say anoma bi atunkosu egu baby. Obe hachi. Do you know, say a job of 1.5 million? How no man stop here? We couldn't go there. By law, no, udon sakan kosuya na ombe prosecuting company no. Asa edid your ordinance kind to maka 8,500 meters around. Obi antimi nko. A track right me mensa area ho. One na ye no. Environmental team no. Omo protect enuma na anoma bi nso akoto adua bi abebu no. Adua ni sikwan ni fifia se ebu twetwene. Ye o permit ebu no. Omko he na anoma bi ato ne ma. Egusa nuanim. We couldn't touch that tree. Nansiya ye the cameras bobo and maneba na the birds come out, they go and feed. By law, no I see a train and money momutimi 2 answer near to metra Giano. And quasi sorry. Sorry, my body I said, you're in my work. I said, forgive me. Yeah? This is environmental team, no. Yehwe no mai no mutukoba sa emom ho ye din. Then they were able to fly away. When they flew, then you have to now cover the area now mo ba no. Eti omo ba mutimi wura hobiem. Na omo kone no yesi asantena another 3 weeks. Ni ehun se afi do manya ba bi atena wo ba bi foforo. Ansa na yetimi atwadua no. Environmental team, health and safety is big in construction. We work here, health and safety. So if you go and study some of the courses, you can do those courses even online, and you get your health and safety certificates. That you know, we have cards depending on how far you go. There are so many of them because as soon as there's an incident on site, we have 0 incident. To say, obiabe Uba Juma, eso kofi said oba na. If you are not well and fit, don't come to work. Because any machines, any man a bones are hunting. So what doing, or see almost even cross, what doing, if you know you're a cross one. And because we need now, so. And then comes the Kakana for the Jumano. When ya, you ready. This is how. I'm just talking about this so that you know how important health and safety is within the construction. And you have about 20 of them in our workplaces. Yeah, Mr. Ombajobi, your question, BM. Construction, once there's a very wide bar. Is there any more questions?
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Many questions, yeah.
Okay, so when you were going through your presentation, you made a point which really struck me. You talked about the taxes here in the UK and how it was affecting you, and now you've decided to go back to Ghana to build. There are a lot of us here, I'm talking about the parents, that are building back home. And today, we've talked a lot about going for gold, growing wealth, and everything along those lines. A lot of us are building back home in Ghana, doing all sorts. My question to you is, you've got kids. Have you thought about any legacy plan when you were thinking about Ghana, going to Ghana to build? At the end of the day, you grow old. Who's taking over you? Have we thought about that aspect of our lives to say, yeah, call Ghana, yeah, invest a lot in Ghana, yeah, this care call is here dying near my hono. Yeah, man, I hear more chrome hano. That that foundation, knowing where they fit in our family circles, you can't so we are Ghana ni crampona, the nature, because what hey, and we bet me a fee, none ma abewa this one. But urbanity, as you say, sa bed and no crampo as a stay, as Ghana ni. Or that idea, no, and you say, we'll go for the expanding BBR, no, for the parents here as well, no. I'm also thinking along those lines, what should they be doing when it comes to that,
Okay. Okay. Matiweda, may I answer in 2 minutes? Asana minu ane kani very, very serious. When we scaffold no more Ghana, baby, no. They didn't pass their skills on to the next generation. Inti obi wa no wo cast bebre skani bisa obewuna na chi nyina basa. As soon as the rich man dies, all the assets becomes, because the children were not prepared to take over. My brother asked, the children are here. I'm investing in Ghana. I looked at something. The children here, they don't look after their parents. School na yedi omo koninti, I think said they have been brought up very selfish. I don't know, say bi amenku an mehu a. Misramo. But any mistake, don't make a mistake to build in Ghana first. Usi dan o Ghana edikanya obeche wa bruchide ansam watimi ayi bibi. The reason why I'm saying this is, and me see be Ghana na the way I treat no and man a twist can be brave pa eti bon ho adwa for her first. Aha na ote. You are here in this country. Manage here first. Invest here first. Me anka ha say de no me kan ha de no kakra. Unse me ka say matoto na wa ha. So even if the children don't go into Ghana, they are okay here. Some man go Ghana from here, I have say okay. Todan na team no, todan wa ha first. And go to Ghana. And see what Ghana there be a big mistake ra. To be tnemu e wa ha na tua. Na go Ghana, o ka say me obi wo se me be san ko fie. Eye o kwa no aton o dan na ko. When you are going, you just sell the house here and you can take the money and go. They say, Dana Mato wa hase no me to abeti nya 1 million na me ko Ghana. O ko Ghana akra 1 million pounds ah. And then I was with their own to vanya Ghana. Nanso me pese me tonti. Me to ha de ani wie ye no. Me de mani a kire fie. Eti se ebia me ka se merita wo Ghana. O ka se Ghana dan me ko kotrema na. Da bi o. Me si fie o Ghana kotrema ko Ghana di ahe. 1 month. And what's it like a there be a mistake. Me hwem penifone bebre nam disua de enu ano me bacho wo me hwem penifone bebre nam disua Ghana. They have built mansions. Omo ko Ghana omo nko a na omo ntimi hwe fie ne kra. Eti dan ne so de me de wo mu ye 1 room pe. Big house ni nyina have only 1 apartment. Eno pay enough for me. Dia kan ni nyina me de den. Me de ma han me pension enkola na hwe me fa me ho o ma hwe me I don't care. I have something there. One yen is our bebre me that's it.
So like I mentioned, we have one final presentation. I don't think any questions are coming. So after the presentation, if there are questions, we just take them and we close. So I'll invite